Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and we are live. And who's down to get a little bit crazy today? Because I got a crazy show on tap for each and every one of y'all. Coming up here live on the Raiders Report, we're going to get into some juicy, and I'm talking juicy fruit, juicy Jayden Daniels rumors. Like, I know that the latest around Jayden is, the Commanders could end up potentially taking him at pick number 2. All I'm going to say is, not so fast, sweetheart. Next thing is, could Aidan O'Connell get traded? I'm not saying that AOC is getting dealt. I'm just going to sit up here and give you the idea of the Raiders, to me, could potentially trade Aidan O'Connell this offseason, and I'll tell you why. Then I was going to do a segment around 5 round 1 draft targets, but I decided to do the Micah Parsons trade. So, for those that do not know, and I thought this was an interesting segment, and we had a few people here at Chat Sports throw this one out to me, which was, right now the Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons, there's a lot of rumors going on around the idea that those two sides are not getting along. And I'll be real, there's not a lot of Raiders news. There's not a lot of stuff going on. So I really wanted to have a fun day. I wanted to talk about a lot of different types of speculation. So let's just hypothetically say that the Cowboys say, you know what? We want to trade away Micah. Do you try to do you try to unite Maxx Crosby and Parsons because those two guys are very, very good friends? I also think that it's interesting that there's a lot of rumors going on right now around the Cowboys wanting to trade up to get a left tackle, getting an offensive tackle for Dak Prescott. If they do want to end up doing something like that, could the Raiders be a team that they look at? And then, like 2 days later, all this Micah Parsons stuff comes out. So, bottom line today is this. I want to have some fun. I want to let my hair down. I want to talk about interesting topics, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So let me know down below. Give me a yes. Give me a no. Will the Commanders draft Jayden Daniels at number 2 overall? And I don't want you to have your Raider goggles on. I want you to have your honest goggles on today, and I want us to be able to have that, conversation. It shouldn't have upset anybody. Got some breaking news here. The San Francisco 49ers have just signed cornerback Rock Ya-Sin. So the former Raider going to San Francisco, that's a pretty big get. Rock Ya-Sin to the 49ers. All right, Jeremy, why don't you pull up here with me here a little bit? Dylan Biggie says no. Anthony Vigil says no. Matthew Wise going to go with the no. Oh, man. Juan Hernandez, no. I see a lot of no's down below. And everybody, welcome in my guy, Jeremy Chuggs. J-Ro got into an argument with my dad, excluding Jamarcus Russell. Who's the Raiders' biggest bust? My vote is Todd Marinovich. My dad's is Tyler Brayton.
Good 30 for 30 if you've never seen it.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, dude.
I'm not going to speak on busts that were so long ago for the simple fact I wasn't around.
You're not going to bust?
I'm not going to bust.
Recent busts. Out of the past 8 years, what is the worst first-round pick the Raiders have made?
Cleveland Ferrell.
Cleveland Ferrell at 4?
At number 4, and that's just because of the price tag. Now, I could make an argument that, at least Cleve played for 3 or 4 years. You could say Alex Leatherwood, who was cut the following season. You could say Damon Arnett.
Abram?
I think, you could also say Henry Ruggs is a bust. Like, I don't think that he would have been a bust. He was trending in the right direction, but at the end of the day, you drafted a receiver at number 12, a receiver before CeeDee Lamb, a receiver before Jerry Jeudy, and he's no longer in the NFL. So, to me, that does make him a bust. But, hey, it is what it is. I see a lot of answers down there below. Arnett, I see Leatherwood, Ruggs from AJ.
Jorge, you're not the first person that said that to me.
What?
You said Chug's the Jonah Hill lookalike.
Jonah Hill?
I get a lot that I look like Jonah Hill.
He's a Jew too, right?
Yeah, I think he's Jew-ish.
Kinda. We got 512 people tuned into the Raiders Report today. And for those of you that do not know, my guy Graphic Raider is going to be pulling up to the studio tomorrow. We're going to be getting wild. It's Friday happy hour. But you know what, Jeremy? There's a part of me that I get really stressed out when I see a credit card payment and I have to make it. Like, every single morning I wake up, no joke, I wake up, I open up my Chase app, I look to see what I owe, and I pay it right away. Like,
I mean,
I have to. And it drives me nuts.
This might sound really bad. Right before I started work, maybe it was whenever I first started here at Chat Sports. Maybe it was either right before or right when I started. I had never had a credit card before.
I mean, I don't think I had a credit card until I was probably 25 years old. So, I mean, that's kind of in line. I mean, I get it. I mean, I think a lot of times people who don't understand credit cards, they hear it and then they get a little bit terrified by it. But
I was always
if you don't have a credit card, get one.
I was always me as a teenager, like, oh, I don't want to owe a ton of money.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So where I was going with that is I am looking at my beer bong counter. Okay. I'm going to try to wipe this thing clean today. And I know I don't usually drink on Thursdays. And here's the thing. If you send in a hundo today, I'm not doing an extra beer bong. I want you to save it tomorrow for Graphic Raider. But I owe 17. I'm going to try to get rid of 12 today. That means Chugs, if you got a boot in you, we'll see how today goes. But the goal today is to get my debt totally gone. And then that way we have a fresh start tomorrow. So I'm just telling you all right now, today's going to get a little bit wet and wild for me personally. And
love that.
I'll also say, you never know if I get a few drinks in me, if more deals will end up coming out. So, Jeremy, I got one more question here for the nation that I want to get up on screen. Ooh, I like this. Drew, you see Brady said he's open to coming back to play. I did see this, and I know I love the offseason. I love rumors, but there are certain rumors that I do like. There are certain rumors that I don't really like. And one of the rumors that I don't love is Tom Brady saying that he's open to the idea of coming back to playing in the NFL if a team makes a late playoff push. And I know that he mentioned the Raiders, but why would he not mention the team that he's about to be part ownership of? He mentioned the 49ers, the team he grew up rooting for, and then the Patriots, the team that he once played for. So, do I think Brady's actually going to come in and play? No, I do not.
I don't know.
I'm not even going to discuss it. I mean, think about the conversations that you have when you're at a barber shop. You're trying to eat up a little bit of time. Now, I'm good friends with my barber. He watches the show. Shout out to Stun of Fades on Instagram. But Brady's not. They're not even going to let him play if he's trying to become an owner. In which, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm looking at, all right, how much money I'm making at Fox, because he's not going to make more money playing in the NFL than he would at Fox. On top of that, then, when you make more money, see, if you have enough money to become partial owner of the Raiders, and you're looking at, all right, when they left Oakland, it was worth about $500 million. Now Mark Davis, I know some people still think he's poor. He's in the billions now, right? The Raiders are valued at somewhere around $6 billion. So when you think about all of that money and how much that grew, if you're Tom Brady, you'd be smarter to invest your money in becoming an owner, partial owner, which has already been well documented that it's at an 80% discounted rate. That's where you put your money.
And also, what precedent does that set for other owners to try to step in and play for their teams?
I can't tell if you're serious. I can't tell if you're serious. But Drew, yes, I did.
Whoever the Bears owner was, just the old woman wheeling out.
Nope. All right, let's have a fun little debate here. If the Raiders, I'm going to do a video today based on the idea of, because I don't think that it's impossible that the Raiders trade away.
Lakaisen said Jerry Jones going in at running back.
Dude.
It's like that scene from It's like the scene from Gridiron Gang when the coach goes in at running back at the very end.
Is that is it Gridiron Gang?
Not
the comebacks or
No. It's the one with Adam Sandler. I think it's The Longest Yard.
The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
Where the coach goes in that would be Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones would disintegrate. All that would be left is the salt that he puts on his Egg McMuffin in the morning. That's all that would be left. But let's have a question here. If the Raiders were to trade away Aidan O'Connell, and I'm going to paint a picture in probably about 30 to 45 minutes, and I would imagine after that show you're going to be like, all right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense of why the Raiders could potentially move on from AOC. But what do you think that he would get in a trade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the round pick. I'm not going to give my answer yet. What do you think Aidan would be worth in a trade? Because I see a lot of people down there, like King Shop says 2. And while you're interacting with people, I'm going to get rid of 3.
I know this might, and
Cheers to the nation.
There's already the narrative that I hate AOC, which
is exactly why I put you on the spot, and I'm going to do this.
But I just have to put out there, Justin Fields got traded for what, a 6th-round pick? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Justin Fields is getting traded for a 6, I really don't think Aidan's getting more than that. I mean, Justin Fields is better than Aidan O'Connell. In a vacuum, I think every team would say they would rather have Justin Fields than Aidan O'Connell. Most teams.
I agree.
If he's getting a 6th-round pick, I don't... Who says Aidan O'Connell? Well, he's getting a 2nd compared to King Javier Shorts.
So I got a segment around the idea of the Raiders potentially trading Aidan because I don't think it's impossible. I would actually say, and if you haven't already voted on the live poll that is up there on screen right now, like I would say there is just as likely of a chance that the Raiders trade away Aidan than the Raiders trading up for Jayden. Because I do think there's a world of possibility where after the NFL draft, if the Raiders get their quarterback, you're sitting there with 3 legit QBs. That's where I think the deals could start flowing a little bit.
I just don't see any team that would be like, we need to trade for Aidan.
There is one team that I legitimately can make a very good argument of, I think if they put him out there, there's a team that I could see absolutely trading for him. And I'm going to make the argument today. So I see Cloud says a 4th, Taino says a 5th, Cloud says a 4th. And we'll kind of settle this debate here a little bit on the Raiders report today. So I just want that to be known. All right, let's go to another super chat coming in here from J-Ro. And remember, if you guys want to get your questions, comments on the show, use hashtag Raiders. Or I want you to super chat to skip the line, and J-Ro's balling out today. If the Raiders get a 2nd first-round pick, would you do this trade? Okay, Jags 2 first-round picks, 2025 2nd round, and Aidan O'Connell. Raiders get Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to be real with you. I don't want Trevor Lawrence as my quarterback, which I'm kind of surprised I'm saying that because I think everybody was very high on Trevor. But, like, to me, Trevor Lawrence is not a top 10 quarterback, and I don't think that he's ever going to be good enough as a passer. And he's also had plenty of injury history. Like, when you compare Trevor Lawrence's numbers to Gardner Minshew's, they are almost identical. I mean, they really are.
I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence.
I would rather have Trevor Lawrence, but for that, no.
For 2 first-round picks and a 2nd-round pick and AOC?
To me, I would rather, if I got to give up 2 first-round picks, so that's pick 13, a 2025, and then a 2nd-round pick, I would rather you just draft Michael Penix Jr. And if somebody's like, oh, like Penix isn't going to be there at 13, then I'm not going to give all of that up for a QB like Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to do it.
I did slack you something, though, because I forgot what you were going to say, but then I saw.
I know.
And still?
Why not? Let's get wild.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe. I know. I'm not going to lie. I kind of forgot.
That's why I said that, because I think you did.
I think I did too. Do you want to party today? Type Y for yeah. Type HY for hell yeah. Do you want to party today?
I'm down to party.
Do you guys want to party today? Who's down to party today? I see Juan, Yoda, King Shav. Though I did see a few people in the chat earlier today were saying that something with the Zoom call yesterday. And here's the thing. I don't know why, but when I sent out the invitations, apparently they went to spam mail because we did do the Zoom call yesterday. It was shout out to Buddy Bear and Zaw, and we had a hell of a time. But I had a few people like, Mitch, I never got the email, which I'll talk about what's going to happen coming up here in a little bit of the Zoom call that we're going to do next Wednesday. But I'm down to party today. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm down to have a good time today. And like I said, I gotta get rid of some debt. That's the number one goal today, me getting rid of some debt. Ron Raspberry said, I checked my spam and it wasn't there either. Ron, did you get my email today then? That would be my question because I sent another email today. Let's go to Jordan. Let's say Arnold, Fuanga, Mitchell, Penix, Turner, Fashanu were available at 13. Who will you pick? Jeremy Chugs and Mitch. Thanks for the B-Day wish. Happy birthday to Jordan. All right, so Arnold, Fuanga, Terrion, Quinion Mitchell, Penix, Turner, Fashanu, all available at 13.
Dude, I want to know what are the first 12 picks in that draft. That's wild.
I was going to say, this is a spicy meatball.
Dude, somebody went high. Somebody we didn't see going high.
I mean, legitimately, just because I am starting to panic that the Raiders are going to go into this season.
I'm taking Penix.
Man, like the player that I have rated the highest on here is Olu Fashanu.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't want to put Olu at right tackle. If Colt Miller is okay playing right tackle, like I'm not kidding you. If Olu's on the board there, if I'm the Raiders, I pick up the phone, I call Colt Miller, I say, hey, are you okay paying right tackle? If he says yes, I'm drafting Olu Fashanu. If the answer to that is no, then I probably would draft Michael Penix Jr. at pick number 13, and then that's your quarterback because you can't afford to go into the season with either Gardner or Aidan. It's not a good look for you. It's just not a good look. It's a hell of a question, though. Let's go to Raider Wifey. Fields was a seller trade. Aidan would be a seller's trade. Could be equivalent. Think about the fact someone might actually need AOC for a backup. Yeah, and I think like that's what this whole idea is. Like I'm not sitting up here saying that the Raiders would trade away Aidan O'Connell now. Like trading away Aidan now makes absolutely positively no sense. Like you can't afford to trade Aidan right now. However, once I paint this picture for you guys, I don't want to give away an entire show, but then I think at that point you're like, well, what do we do here? Like we just have Aidan O'Connell. He's our quarterback 3. Like Aidan's not a quarterback 3. There's not 64 quarterbacks in the NFL better than Aidan. There's not. Like, come on. There's not. But I hear you. It would be a seller's trade. And I don't think that you would get a lot for AOC in the picture that I'm about to paint. So let's go to another one coming in here. It said, he meant buyer's trade for AOC. So you're saying that you think people would buy it. Yeah, I don't see that. There's not a single NFL team out there that's going to trade for Aidan. It's more of the idea of Raiders are trying to get rid of him. It's a yard sale, and then somebody's going to come in and sweep him.
Yeah,
and come in and get him.
Like, I don't think anybody's like, you know what? Well, you're going to look at a quarterback this year, but I'd much rather have Aidan.
Yeah, and again, there's no team looks at Aidan as a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL. Like I hate to break it to you, there's not a single team that looks at him like that. It's would you trade for a backup? Like if Aidan was on the open market, if Aidan was a free agent this past season, I think he would get a very similar contract to a guy like a Jimmy Garoppolo, a 1-year, $4 million deal. Now, maybe a team would give him like 2 for 10. Like maybe he'd get 2 for 10. If Marcus Mariota's getting $6 million.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I think a team at that point, if they're whatever pick that you're like, oh, they would rather do that. I think that they would rather just draft a quarterback in this year's draft with a 6th-round pick.
Yeah. And I do agree with Humberto, where like AOC could be part of a trade package for a player for another team that could maybe help us in terms of depth. Absolutely. Like, again, you're not going to trade Aidan for a starter. Like, that's just not going to happen. But if you could trade him and I told you could get an extra corner, somebody like an Amik Robertson that you could put on your team, like, I think a team might do that.
AOC for Hendon Hooker straight up. I don't think either team does this.
I agree.
I don't think the Raiders, because
if you're the Raiders, it doesn't make any sense to do that. And if you're the Lions, it doesn't make sense.
You also don't, the Raiders don't really know what it is with Hendon Hooker. They haven't really seen him play. And AOC, I don't get why the Lions are like, I'd rather have AOC as my back. Like,
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, Zon, I know it said just check your Zoom. I checked mine. The call's there. I didn't need to see the email. So that's the other part. Whatever email that you gave me, if you were trying to get set up with that Zoom call, which I'm starting to realize so the way Zoom does it is if you send that like invite, it goes to like sometimes also like your Zoom like account. So we did the Zoom call yesterday, but don't worry, we're going to do another one Wednesday. And if you missed the call yesterday, you're also going to be included for the call next Wednesday, which I've already sent out all the emails. So if you didn't get the email already, that's on you. Oh! 93 Nevman Bang! Oh, man. I am worried about Navman. I'm telling you right now, Navman worries me.
Your math is off, Mitch.
All right, hear me out. Robert is the drink total guru. Next, let's not get too crazy about the expensive gamble on a draft trade up for a QB. Offensive line needs to be our vision for the draft. Micah will not happen for the dead cap hit Dallas will take. No way, it's a pipe dream.
Stick around and find out.
I'll say this, and I'll say this about every single trade out there, okay? Every trade out there. People said Devontae Adams never get traded. Khalil Mack never get traded. People said the Broncos will never cut Russell Wilson because it's a $90 million dead cap hit. I will never use the word never when it comes to a trade. Unless it's Maxx Crosby, because that's never going to happen.
Oh, yeah?
But my math is correct, Navman. And the only reason why that I know is because I have a Word doc that's pulled up here on my screen, and I've been keeping track of all my drinks of what I owe, what I don't owe. So, Navman, I'm just saying, I'm keeping track. I got 14 more to go. Let's go to Zach Nasty.
Mitch, what up? I'm out in Dallas when you and Chugs are free to meet for a beer. I wrote you on IG, but hard to get a hold of you there.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I probably have close to 400 unread messages in my IG DMs. However, Zach, if you want to put down below what your IG is, unless it's also Zach Nasty, that way I can figure something out. And I'll say this, it's actually a perfect weekend if you did want to grab a beer because Alex, she's working a wedding Friday and Saturday, and Graf, he's going to be in Dallas tomorrow. So if you wanted to grab a beer tomorrow, might be difficult just because of I don't know how shitty Graf and I'll get, but maybe Saturday.
Might be Munchies Friday night.
Ooh. Yeah, that's actually probably going to happen. What's your IG, Zach? If you want to put that for me, because I'm going to look up Zach Nasty right now, and I'm worried what I'm going to find. So hit me up at the IG, and then I'll look you up, and then we'll link up for a beer tomorrow. Even if it's not a beer, even if you just want to grab some food, because I know for a fact Graf and I are probably going to want to eat after tomorrow's show.
J-Row, what kind of season does AP have to get fired?
He's not getting fired this year. I would say legitimately the only way it's Antonio Pierce is fired after one season is if they win 2 games or less. And here's the thing. I don't even think he gets fired then. Because if I'm Mark Davis, I'm saying at 2 wins, then you're going to have an opportunity to get your quarterback, right? Like, the only way you're winning 2-1 game with this type of defense is if your offense is led by Gardner Minshew and Aidan O'Connell, and they are just like Brian Hoyer bad, which I just don't see happening. Like, there's not a world that happens.
Venom Sosa.
Ooh,
What up? All right, before we get started, $10 50-50 raffle. I saw some people on Tuesday say, man, I couldn't get in. Couldn't get in on the $20 Venmo 50-50 raffle, so lowered it a little bit so more people can get in. $10 to enter the 50-50 raffle on today's show. And if you missed the top of the program, this is what we're breaking down. Juicy Jayden Daniels rumors coming at you with the first segment. Could Aidan O'Connell get traded? And Micah Parsons, little trouble in Dallas. Could the Raiders pair Micah Parsons and Maxx Crosby up. They're good friends off the field. Could they become even better friends on the field? And as always, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to get up on the shoe.
I think there was soap in that. I don't know. That tasted funny. You ever watch The Little Rascals?
I thought you were about to blow out a bubble.
You ever watch The Little Rascals and he like drinks? Does he drink bubbles?
I think so.
And he just starts burping.
Darla!
What's the song that he sings? Is it you? Is that where he's burping the bubbles?
Oh yeah.
Or is it?
Is for the way.
Is that
you
it?
Look
Dude, low
at
key.
me.
Oh my lord.
Is for the only
Low key.
one I see.
That was like one of my favorite movies when I was a kid.
He is very,
Yeah, I'm already in
very
trouble here.
extraordinary.
Though that means I'm down to 11.
You can roll with anything
Down
you
to
can
11.
and
Man, we
love.
got 750 people here on the Raiders Report.
And
If
only
you haven't already,
Only 182 likes.
hit that like button.
Can we get 183 likes before we start the program?
Hit
All right, somebody did like it.
that like button. Also, have we gotten an update yet from Zach Nasty? Zach, I don't
No.
see it. Zach's probably like, what if this is, I always like wonder, because I know people that watch this show, 99% of the people I think that watch this show, maybe 95, like you and me. There's definitely people that probably watch that don't like us, but just still like want to stay up to date on things. What if like Zach's one of these guys where he's like, he likes us, doesn't like Graf. So I was like, hey, come have a beer with Graf and I get some food. He's like, nah, man, I'm out. I'm not doing it. If you're in the chat, Mr. Nasty, I need that IG because like I said, I looked up Zach Nasty on Instagram and I'm not getting a lot of luck with that, which might
Gotcha.
surprise you. It might surprise you.
Don Chief says, I'm nasty as F.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yikes. We love Chugs. We tolerate you, Mitch. Fair enough.
Doesn't seem like that sometimes.
That's, I'll tell you what, I don't disagree with it. Alex tells me the same thing. She tells me the exact same thing.
Oh, my goodness. Raphael, he put in a couple extra last time, and I guess he didn't get one. I told him last time I would give him a free one on the next one if you want to put Raphael M in on the 50-50.
Raphael M?
Yeah.
Okay, let me look. What was the 50-50 for? It's 10?
Yeah. This time it's
10 to get in? All
Yeah.
right. 10 to get in. Let me get everything situated here for the duck race. Okay, give me 1 second. All right,
Nico-
so here are
Nico-
the people that are in. Justin Gilbert is in. And you know what? I'm going to do a special offer right now. The next person to get in this duck race, I'm giving you 2 entries. Gilbert, you in. Frank. Oh, man. In. I see 93 Navman said get me in.
3 Nav, man. J. Rowe.
Frank is in twice, actually.
Let's say Williams to Chicago, Daniels to Washington, May to New England, Bo
Rick
Nix
Hand
to Denver, and McCarthy to Minnesota.
Matthew
Penix to
Kimball
LV.
in. Luis Rod in.
Yeah.
Rosario in. Luis
Ooh.
Rod in again. And then
Interesting. J-Row for this, I would say
Thomas K, you were first, so you get 2. You in. And then I see Kalen in. What'd you say?
for this one, I would say best season to worst season. I would say Williams number 1. I would have Daniels and Penix tied for number 2. McCarthy 3. May 4. Nix 5.
All right, if this is how it goes, I will say best season is Michael Penix Jr.
Over Caleb Williams?
I actually think Caleb's going to struggle in Chicago.
I don't know. I think he's going to be good.
I mean, they have DJ Moore, they have Keenan Allen, all good. However, Caleb is not a cold weather quarterback. That's been proven. Keenan Allen, soft tissues, not going to do well in cold weather. I mean, I think it's fair. I don't view Caleb Williams as a cold weather quarterback. I also don't think that he's going to be mentally tough enough to handle Chicago.
Well, shouldn't that mean that he'll start off really good because it won't be cold?
He might start off good. Penix, though, number one. Caleb, I'll say in this situation would be 2. 3 to me is probably Daniels. 4 would be Drake May. 5 would be McCarthy.
6 would be Nix.
6 would be Nix. 6 would be Nix.
Bleacher Report said LV is not targeting a quarterback at 13. Have you heard any truth to that?
All right, so I'll say Bleacher Report did not say this. ESPN is the one that said it.
Also, anybody that says they know for sure what any team is doing besides the Bears in round 1, they are lying because nobody knows what these teams are actually going to do. The only thing I do know what's going to happen is chance tastic bang!
Oh, shit. Screw it. 4 first-round picks for Washington's 2nd overall pick. Go broke or go home, Antonio. Happy Thursday, fellas, and let's go Raiders! All right, well, there's 2 problems with this, and I do want to go back to that last one then. 2 problems with this. 1, Raiders don't have 4 first-round picks, okay? You can't trade a 2027 first, so that's the first issue. If you're going to do something like this, based on what you're saying, that means you got to trade somebody that's worth a first-round pick. To me, there are only 2 players on the Raiders, one of which you're not trading Maxx Crosby. The only other 2 players on your roster legitimately worth a first-round pick that you could trade, Devontae Adams, and I don't think Colton Miller goes for a first. However, there might be a team out there like a Cowboys where I could actually see the Cowboys saying like, hey, I want an offensive tackle for Dak.
3 firsts and Colton Miller because
3 firsts and Colton Miller.
The Commanders do not have a good offensive line.
Not at all. Not at all. So, to me, you would have to throw in a player of that caliber to say, let's get this thing going. The other problem is, though, 3 first-round picks and Colton Miller, still not enough. I mean, I still think you have to
throw in probably Malcolm Kuntz.
I mean, if that's a big-time need for them, sure. This
They
might surprise you. They don't have a lot of...
They traded both their edge rushers last year, Chase Young and Montez Sweat.
So you throw in Malcolm Kuntz, Colton Miller, 3 first-round picks. I mean, it's a lot, but I'll be real with you. I'm also a chance.
Azulex,
I'm doing it.
If that meant Jayden Daniels, I think they would do it. He said if they trade Chugs. I think the Raiders say yes.
Dude, I don't know. That's where I draw the line. I can't lose Chugs.
Back to
this. So essentially what Jordan Reed from ESPN and spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow.
You also got a pick?
He's had that pick.
I thought it used to be.
I know what it used to be, but he's had that.
Really? Oh, I didn't realize.
Because is it a bear?
Looks like a bison.
See, I can't tell from here.
I don't know.
I can't tell from here.
Like a snow bison or something.
It looks like he went to the Buffalo Wild Wings commercial guy.
Yeah.
That bison. He's like, you know what? I didn't like the barbecue wings. Slicing and dicing. But again, Bleacher Report did not report this. Jordan Reed, what he said was, if the Raiders do not trade up for a quarterback, that based on what he has heard, they're not going to take a QB at 13. So, he did not say that they're not taking a quarterback in round 1. He essentially said, and if you read the whole blurb, it's they could trade up for Jayden, they could trade up for Michael Penix Jr., but if the Raiders are on the clock at number 13, that they're not going to take a quarterback.
Real Cowboy,
which is very good news.
You probably saw it on the website because what Bleacher Report is an aggregator. All they do for half their stories they have their own, but the other half, if you go on the Raiders page, it's just stories from other websites.
Correct. Scott Ecker is Ian.
93 Navman. I've used multiple methods to send my email to you on IG and Venmo messages several times. The Zoom invite not in my junk or spam.
So you're telling me, Navman, that you did not get my email today because you sent me one email and then you sent me another.
Yeah,
and
you did send us 2 different emails.
I have sent you both.
I showed
those
Mitch,
emails.
I showed Mitch Mitch. I showed. Oh my God. I showed Mitch the message you sent me, and it was a different email than what you had sent Mitch. So
just make sure that whatever you're sending me, Navman, is your right email. Daniel Jimenez, you in?
They didn't match up.
Rafael Murillo in.
Mario.
Oh, dude, you know who's here?
Who?
Todd Canning.
Let's go.
Todd's one of those guys. He's like Jaws. He just lurks. And then there's that one random day, and he's done it a few times, drops a 500.
He's just going to lurk right on you.
Scary guy. Mario, tackle kick rule will impact Raiders players' ability?
I think you're talking about the hip drop tackle and the new kickoff rule.
I mean, it's definitely going to impact the Raiders, and I kind of talked about this already because you moved on from DeAndre Carter. Like, you still need to be able to find.
I was going to say, we broke both of these down in a video.
Correct.
If you just search Raiders report, maybe hip drop tackle? I don't know what.
No, I would say, Mario, I know exactly what it is. It's, if you look up, like, bring back DeAndre Carter Raiders report on YouTube, it's where we talk about all this because the day that they dropped this new rule, I was going to make a video around, should the Raiders bring in Cordell Patterson, but then like 2 hours later, Patterson ended up signing with, I forget what team he ended up going to.
I believe the Steelers.
I don't remember. Probably. If a move happened this year, Sperry probably covered it because he's the only person that gets to do breaking news anymore.
It was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers and the Commanders have made more moves than anybody this offseason.
Yeah.
Which, go check it out. Mr. Panda Express.
420.
Happy Thursday, fellas. If the Raiders don't end getting a quarterback, how worried are you going into the season? I mean, I still think if the Raiders go into this year with Gardner Minshew or Aidan O'Connell as their quarterback, I think that they have a chance to make the playoffs, and I think that they are a 10-9-8-7 win team. You went 8-9 last season with Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer, and Aidan O'Connell starting. Like, Gardner's better than all three of those guys. Plus, I believe that your defense has gotten better. So, like, obviously injuries happen. There's a lot of unknowns. You don't have Jacobs anymore. Hopefully, Zamir White can take that next step forward. Hopefully, you know, Devontae's even a little bit better this upcoming season. Michael Mayer, I anticipate, is going to be better this season. But, like, I don't think that you're winning the Super Bowl. I would say if you go into this season with those two guys as your QB, you're hoping to win one playoff game.
Yeah.
Like you're hoping to win one playoff game. You're hoping to just make it into the playoffs. But you're still in that purgatory area. My man PG! Mortgage the future, 3 firsts and a receiver. Raiders!
Which receiver?
I mean, the problem is if you're saying mortgage the future, 3 firsts and a receiver, to me, 3 firsts and Jacoby Myers, that's not getting you in the top 3. The only receiver, based on what you're saying, that's getting you into the top 3 is Devontae. And I don't like the idea of trading all of my assets for a quarterback, and then you're going to have that QB have their number 1 receiver be Jacoby Myers, and then Trey Tucker, and then it's Christian Wilkins and
Christian Wilkerson
and DJ Turner. Like, that's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. The real cowboy. Laugh out loud, yes, it is a bison, or known as a... What's the difference between a bison and a buffalo?
Buffalo!
What's the difference between a bison and a buffalo? Is it the same as an alligator and a crocodile?
I had a joke, but I can't say it.
What? Does it have to do with bison? Does your joke have to do with the bison and not a buffalo? That's my question. I'm not going to lie. Those two boots are hitting me. Yep. I didn't know that. I figured, though, the Bison.
Yep.
Yep.
That's his. So we'll have it. Basically, that's his IG.
Well, see, if I don't look it up now, I can already tell you the way that I'm going today, we're going to be making some deals. All right, so Last Bastion?
Last Bastion.
Last Bastion standing. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? All right. Hang on a second here.
Hold on.
We're going to get this thing going. Mitch, I'm in Dallas. Let's grab a beer. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, Zach, I just messaged you on IG. Well, tomorrow, I'll let you know where Graf and I are going in Dallas. You know what, shit, we'll probably just let you know when we're on here.
Yeah. Lord Cameron Abbott.
Oh, boy.
Actually, we just got the jerseys in 2 days ago.
Correct. So, I don't know if you guys can tell, but, like, our jersey provider, which is Nike, they're different. Like, they are noticeably different where...
Well, I think it's the same with Fanatics where...
No, it is. Like, so this is the jerseys, like, for anybody that got a jersey last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys remember, we were like, I don't know what's taken them so long, but they switched up the way that they look. So I don't know if that's part of it, but Jeremy and I, we just got the jerseys. So essentially what we ended up doing, Cameron, is I wear medium jerseys. And for the custom black medium jerseys, they ran out of stock. So what we had to do for a lot of the jerseys out there, like they ran out of medium, large, extra large, and 2XL. Like if I wanted to order 3XL, 4XL, and then small.
We basically had to put it on back order and wait for them to have it back in stock.
I got like 20 jerseys out here. So Chugs and I, we're going to sign a bunch of them, and then we're going to send them out to you guys. So like I would say expect to get your jersey in the next 2 to 3 weeks, just because next week, Wednesday is probably when I'll try to get all that stuff done. But we are also prepping for the NFL draft, which is like the biggest event that we do all year. So I promise you, we did just get them. It's just they were out of sizes. So Cameron, I don't remember what size you were, but if you were between a medium and a 2XL, they were out for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like Patrick B just got his jersey that he did in October because he wanted the Robert Spillane jersey. And I forget what size Patrick B is, but we just sent out a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Nico last two. Nico waited a long time, but Nico messaged me, said he just got his. Sometimes they just take forever.
Are we ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock out. Though we're one like away from 300. I think we can get there.
Are you sure?
Yep. All right, let me look here real quick one more time to get all the people in for our 50-50 raffle. The last name that I got was Todd Canning, and then I see Eric Cab, and then, Ultra VAB wants not one, not two, not three, but 4 spots. And then Ira Jackson is also in. So, Chugs, right now, 23 times 10 is 230. Divided by 2, 115.
Just do it times 5.
I can't do that. 23 times 5. You know that off the top of your head?
23 times 5?
Yeah, I just said the answer. What? 115.
Yeah.
So that's the winner. Yeah, see, I can't do it. I have to go 23 times 10 divided by 2. The mental math.
20 times 5 plus 15.
$10 Venmo for a chance to win $115. We're going to do that at the end of today's show.
All right. Let's get into this first segment on a juicy Jayden Daniels rumor.
Who's ready to get a little juicy? You ready? You guys ready to get a little juicy?
I'm ready.
There's a song that Alex listens to that it's like, I keep it juicy. I think it's by Doja Cat. I don't know. Coop laughed to it, and I got a grin out of DK, so I'll take that as a win. That's a win in my book. Coming up, let's get juicy here on the Raiders Report. You ready? You guys ready? Let's go. Let's get lit. Raider Nation, if you want the Raiders to draft Jayden Daniels, I want you to click that like button right now because we got some juicy rumors going on around the Heisman Trophy winner that still gives me a chance to land him here in Las Vegas. Raider Nation, what's going on? Today's show is presented by Manscaped. And if anybody out there needs to save at least 20% off on the best male grooming products out there, go to manscaped.com, use code Raiders, because I'm telling you what, right now, we're hooking up the nation. So coming up here on today's show, we got some juicy, and I'm talking juicy, Jayden Daniel rumors that make me believe there is still a chance that the Raiders trade up for him. And I get it. I know people that watch this show, you follow Raiders, right? And that's what I do. I am committed to excellence in terms of I am looking up updates all day, every day, going on around the silver and black. However, though, there are always parts of me that wonder, like, could other teams be impacting different situations? And one thing that I want you to keep in mind for this show in particular is, yes, different teams can absolutely make things happen. Though, if the Raiders do end up getting Jayden, there's going to be a lot of things that have to end up going down. And if we're live, which we will be for the NFL draft, and I don't want you to miss it, click that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. That way, you never miss a thing. So let's kind of get in here to the latest going on around Jayden and why I'm hopeful that the Raiders could potentially end up taking this quarterback here. And it's because, per Evan Silva, Daniels' meeting with the Commanders didn't go as smoothly. And if you don't know who Evan Silva is, he's one of the most connected guys in the industry. He used to work with Matthew Berry, Roto World. He's got over 200,000 followers on social media. And Daniels attended a formal combine meeting, and the parties met privately after his pro day. I will admit, Silva has not said which meetings necessarily did not go well. But the reason why that I wanted to make this video is because I want everybody that is watching today's show to say it with me. Where there is smoke, there is a lot of fire. And to me, there is so much smoke going on around Jayden right now not wanting to be a Commander. And I promise you this, after you watch today's show, you're going to be like, holy shit, I don't think Jayden wants to end up going to the Washington Commanders. So let's kind of walk through this timeline here a little bit. And for people that watch this show, I get it. It's the off season, okay? It's the off season. There's a lot of rumors out there. And if anybody out there thinks that they know exactly what's going to happen in the draft, they're lying, right? But all we can do is at least follow the tea leaves, follow the smoke, because maybe it leads to some fire. So here we go. We're going to go through a timeline. So Daniels and Adam Peters' story. If you did not watch my video that I put out on this about, I don't know, a month ago, well then you need to stay in tune on this, because Eric Bickle, who he's the host of the Sports Junkies co-host on 106.7 The Fan and NBC Sports Washington, very, very well connected in the whole Commanders region, if you will, said his son showed him a text from a friend in Illinois during the weekend of March 2nd to March 3rd. That text said this. This is from EB's son. Tell your dad Jayden Daniels hates Adam Peters. If you don't know who Adam Peters is, he is now the new general manager of the Washington Commanders. And some of y'all are probably thinking, well, why does Jayden Daniels hate Adam Peters if they've never played together? I'm glad you asked. So we know that Jayden played at Arizona State. One of his close friends, Brandon Ayuk, also played at Arizona State. And Ayuk connected Jayden and Peters back in 2022 or in early 2023. That has not been confirmed yet, about declaring for the NFL draft. And Adam Peters apparently told Jayden Daniels that you don't have the talent to be picked before round 5, and your talent doesn't translate into the NFL. So if you're a young man and you're trying to figure out, hey, like, what do you think of me as a prospect? And now Jayden, knowing that he is the Heisman Trophy winner and knowing like where he's at, like, I get that sometimes people don't take this stuff all that serious, but put yourself in Jayden's shoes, right? Put yourself in his situation where somebody tells you that you're not good enough to play in the NFL, or you're not really going to ever be anything spectacular, and then you win the Heisman Trophy. Like, there is a part of me that wonders If you're Jayden, you're just like, all right, man, F you. I proved you wrong. So now guess what's going to happen here? Now I'm not going to want to go to your team, and I want to prove to you with that extra motivation that you've given me that I'm never going to make you look good. I'm going to go play for somebody else. What's interesting about this story is the story came out the exact same day that Daniels said cap to not wanting to be a Patriot. And the reason why that I'm throwing this in here is because on the timeline of all these rumors happening, Jayden was clearly on Twitter on this day, okay? Clearly on Twitter on like March 5th or March 6th, and there was a report that came out that Jayden, which is from JPA Football, which JPA has since deleted, and I get it. There's a lot of these people out there that they just throw stuff at the wall and see what happens, not expecting that players are going to, call them out on it. So here's the tweet that essentially started getting a little bit of traction, and it was around the idea that Jayden Daniels does not want to play for the New England Patriots. Jayden quote tweets that, says cap. However, I said on this show, and I still think that it's weird, that Jayden has never publicly come out and said that, no, like these Adam Peters rumors aren't true, or no, it's not true that I don't want to play for the Commanders. So there was a day where all the circulation around Jayden was, Jayden and Adam Peters do not get along. He doesn't say anything about that. All he does is call out the comment of, no, that he doesn't want to be a New England Patriot. So coming up here, I got more reasons why Jayden Daniels does not want to go to the Washington Commanders, and I'll get into all of that, but I do got to give a shout-out to today's sponsor, Manscaped. And if anybody doesn't already know, Manscaped is changing the game. And why are they changing the game? Because did you know, one man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer. In fact, testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer amongst men aged 15 to 35. With April being National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, our friends over at Manscaped have partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn how to check yourself for early signs of cancer. And as always, you can use promo code Raiders for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. In addition to providing the right tools and solutions for comfortable and easy grooming, Manscaped is committed to raising awareness and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer. That is why they will be donating $50,000 to the Testicular Cancer Society, which helps save lives and balls, by going over to manscaped.com/TCS and sharing their funny, educational, check yourself video. And while you're at it, grab 20% off and free shipping with code Raiders because, like a famous American philosopher once said, take care of your chicken, your balls, and your mentals. Now, I don't got to sit up here and tell you that I use Manscaped. If you watch the show enough, you'll know I use Manscaped products. Chugs uses Manscaped products, not on his chest, but as he's made it very clear, everywhere down below. And if you're sick and tired of 96 and like Angel Diaz here and you want to get a little 69 action in, Manscaped's the right place for you. And on top of that, I'm a big believer that I want to support companies that I feel like reflect me. Manscaped lets me be me. They also have amazing, amazing products to make sure that I'm looking good from head to toe. And I know you guys don't get to see me realistically from my belly button down, but I'll just say this. I'm looking pretty good. My Ken Stabler, not rocking in a George W. Bush, thanks to Manscaped. All right, let's keep it rolling here with Jayden Daniels and not wanting to be a part of the Washington Commanders. Then there's this brand new story that pops up from Evan Silva. So not only have we now had two stories from very well credited people, you're talking NBC Sports Washington, and then Evan Silva. And again, maybe I'm a little bit more hyped up on the Evan Silva train because I'm a fantasy football guy, but Evan has also created his own company. He is really, really well known in the circles of NFL players. And for Silva to come out and say that he heard that the Commanders meeting didn't go as smoothly, like, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I saw this report, I saw this story, and I'm like, here we go again. Another story around Jayden Daniels not getting along with the Washington Commanders. And I wonder if it's part of that of carrying a chip on your shoulder. Like, we're all human beings at the end of the day. And I'm telling you right now, like, and I get it. Like, when you're at this level, right, and you know that, all right, I could potentially get picked number 2 overall, which, yes, you make more money. But if I'm Jayden, I'm thinking long term. I'm not thinking second-round pick. I'm thinking, what team gives me the best chance to get that next contract? Because next contract means For Jayden Daniels, that's at least $50 million a year. So I want to go to the team that I believe gives me the best chance. Do you really want to play for a dude that said that you're never going to be all that great? I don't know if I would. So what's interesting about this is the exact same day again. Jayden, the same day, didn't deny that he didn't want to be a Commander. He just said that he was excited for his upcoming visits. So what's interesting, yet again, about this is New England Patriots people, they start putting out this story because Silva said that he had a bad meeting with Washington and that Jayden, all he said was like, I'm excited to go home. And for those who don't know, he's excited to just, I think, go home. He's been on the road for so damn long. But yet again, had the opportunity to shut down the rumors that he does not like the Washington Commanders, that he did not have a good meeting. He didn't do that. And I know that Jayden has a top 30 visit with Washington on April 15th, and we can probably figure out there's going to be new stories, there's going to be new reports that come out after that. Maybe the reports are all that everything is totally fine. I don't know. But all that we know right now is that there is a story going on that Jayden does not get along with Adam Peters, that Jayden's meetings with the Commanders have not gone well, and Jayden has been on social media to shut down other rumors, but he has not shut down the rumors that him and the Commanders have not gotten along. That's interesting to me. And if it's not interesting to you, then hey, that is what it is. But to me, for everybody out there that thinks that, oh, Jayden's off the board at 2, I don't think that at all. Because until it actually happens, there's always a chance that he could land in silver and black. So here's your opportunity right now. Crystal ball time. Who will be the Commanders' draft pick at number 2 off the board? We know Caleb Williams is going number 1. Done deal. It's already happened. Now, the Commanders have at least offered a trade offer to the Chicago Bears, which has been reported that Chicago shut down because they want Caleb. And that's also the part of me where I'm like, we knew Cliff wanted Caleb. I think after that, anything is possible. Who will the Commanders draft at pick number 2? Let me know down below. For me personally, I'm actually going to go with Drake May. Drake May is the QB that I believe ends up being a Washington Commander. And if it's not Drake May, there are some other QBs that sure you could potentially think of. Like there's been a lot of hype around Michael Penix Jr. I get it. Bo Nix ain't going that early. To me, it comes down to 2 names. Drake May, or it was also reported by Tom Pelissero about a week and a half ago that McCarthy was the number 1 QB for Washington. And sometimes NFL teams do certain things. Washington seems like a team to me that would take a J.J. McCarthy at number 2 overall because he's a winner. He's 27-1 as a record. I'll admit, I do always say you got to follow the Vegas odds. And the Vegas odds do still have Jayden at minus 150. But guess what? If I put my money where my mouth is, I'm going to go with Drake May at plus 130. And I would also put J.J. McCarthy at plus 600. Because to me, it's going to be one of those 2 guys. I do not see Jayden Daniels wanting to go play with the Washington Commanders based on all the rumors that have been circulating out there. And honestly, man, just based on overall fit from top to bottom. So Jayden Daniels not going to go to the Commanders. And coming up here, I got the cherry on top. The cherry on top of why Jayden will not be a Commander. Why he won't be going to Washington anytime soon. But friendly reminder again, one of the things that I wanted to start doing is creating more content of face-to-face interactions. And last week I talked about doing a Zoom call. And I did a Zoom call on Wednesday, and I got to give a shout-out to Lord Buddy Bear and David Zahn because they were the 2 that figured it out, and they were the 2 that showed up. However, I was also told by a lot of people that they couldn't quite figure it out. So here's the thing. Next Zoom call, Wednesday, April 17th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the time Buddy Bear told me he can make it again. That's the time David Zahn told me they can make it again. So for that reason, that's the time that this call is going to be. And if you're like, Mitch, I was a part of the Zoom and I wasn't able to join, I've already sent out the email. I sent it out today. So if you did not get your email today, that means I don't know that you want to be a part of the Zoom call. We're going to figure out extra deals as the week goes on. I'll tell you exactly how to get a part of this next Wednesday. But if you were supposed to be part of our Zoom call on April 10th, then I also added you to this Zoom call right here. So I do, though, want to give a shout-out to Zahn and Buddy Bear. There was a lot of jokes There was a lot of laughs. We talked for probably, like 50 minutes to an hour. But it was cool because I got to know them a little bit better. They got to know me a little bit better. I showed them around the office here a little bit. My point is we do so much content where I just talk to a camera. Like, I wish you guys could see what we have here. It's literally I'm just talking to a camera. To actually be able to, like, talk face-to-face with people is a total game changer, and it's something that I want to be able to do more often. So please put in your calendar. I'm going to start doing Wednesday Zoom calls. I'll tell you how you can join throughout the week here on the Raiders Report. Let's go to the cherry on top. Malik Neighbors and Jayden Daniels. They were on an Instagram live call, and Malik, his teammate, who also is probably going to go top 6 in the NFL draft, hints Jayden to the Raiders. And he didn't say that Jayden's going to the Raiders. But what he did say, and if you're smart enough and you can connect the dots, if you're, like, think about, like, the situation, right? Malik Neighbors, Jayden Daniels, both top 6 picks, both obviously homies, right? Would you put your best friend or one of your really good friends on blast like that if you didn't think that there was at least a little bit of truth to it? I know I wouldn't do that. So the fact that both of these guys are on IG and the fact that Neighbors hints that Daniels could partner with an old homie in front of 2,000 people live on an Instagram, like, that's not something that you do unless you think that there is a little bit of a chance of it happening. If you didn't see it, this is what Neighbors said to Jayden Daniels on Instagram Live. I'm going to tell you where our boy Jayden is going. Hey, you're never going to believe it. He might partner with an old homie. And the way that Malik said it, like, you could tell, like, when he started saying it, he was like, oh, shit. I don't know if I should say what I'm about to say. And then the fact that he just went out and said, like, an old homie, and then Jayden responded with, wow, that's what you're going to do? Okay. And you could tell, like, on both of their faces, like, man, like, I don't know if I should have said that because it's going to create speculation. And they both know that 2 top 6 picks, it is going to create a lot of speculation. But all I know is this. Did you know the Commanders have no Jayden Daniels overlap on their roster or coaching staff? There's not a single player. There's not a single coach. Nobody has overlap. I can make an argument that Antonio Pierce, that's overlap with Jayden Daniels. Brandon Ayuk, that's some overlap with the San Francisco 49ers. Hell, Kayshon Boutte, receiver for the New England Patriots, that's some overlap with Jayden Daniels. My point is, if Malik makes it sound like he's going to rejoin a homie, there ain't no homies in Washington. So because of that, he's not going to the Commanders. So in conclusion, Jayden Daniels has had multiple chances to turn down the Commanders' rumors, and he simply hasn't done it. Multiple credited sources have said Daniels and Washington's relationship is not a solid one, and Jayden might partner with an old homie, according to his homie, Malik Neighbors. You know who that homie is? Spam it down below. It's AP, baby. Will the Commanders draft? Who will the Commanders draft at pick number 2? I don't think it's Jayden. I really don't think it's Jayden.
I don't know.
Also, next 2 segments are LinkedIn.
I don't think so. Check the board.
I did. They switch up on me?
Maybe.
They switch up on me.
That's what I was confused too. I was following what the board in the top of the top of the doc says that too.
It does?
Yeah. Scroll to the top.
Dude, I don't know. I was so confused for a little bit. All right, fair enough.
So we can just do it as the same it is. We can just do it as the Micah Parsons. That's where you have it.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. My copy's effed, but we'll have to redo that.
Well, no, yeah,
I was confused too. That's why, like, in the beginning there, I know you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but Jeremy and I do. It is what it is. Who will the Commanders draft at pick number 2? Here's what's going to happen.
You're going to go to the restroom?
I'm going to change my jersey, and I might take a little bit longer to do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll be right back.
All right. Eric Cabrera. Yeah, Mitch has trouble with names from time to time. Mitch, it's Cabrera. What was that movie where it's like, it's da da da? Like, was that The Sandlot?
Oh, the great, like that one?
Maybe.
The Colossal Cloud?
Maybe it. Oh, the great band. That's just what I thought of whenever Mitch. It's Cabrera. John Rodriguez, Mitch. I would happily trade pick 13 for Parsons any day. You'll want to stay till the very end of today's show to see. Well, oh wow, I didn't even notice. Well, Mitch, when Mitch gets back, I'll go to yours, Lord Cameron Abbott. You'll want to stick around to see what Mitch's trade idea around Micah Parsons is. Oh yeah, forever. That's what I was thinking about, Buckethead. But yeah, stick around, John, because Mitch has a pretty juicy trade idea. I need to stop using that word. Trevor Robledo, did you see Jayden Daniels' IG said, gonna reunite with the old homies? Yeah? That's what we were just talking about. Malik Neighbors kind of hinting, Jayden Daniels, could he reunite with an old homie in the NFL? No homies in Washington. I don't know. Our Commanders guy's pretty adamant that the commies are going to take Jayden at number 2. I don't know. So much can change from now to the NFL draft, though. Let's see. Wrong way. We don't get Jayden Daniels or Drake Maya. We go all in on offensive line and corner and then roll with our quarterbacks, which could win 11 games. I mean, I don't hate the idea of if you don't like any of the quarterbacks or if you're not able to get your guy, you just build the best possible team that you can around Aidan O'Connell and Gardner Minshew because that's all you can do. I think, obviously, it's not what you want to do, but at the same time, I don't hate the idea of just building an amazing roster around the quarterbacks you have. And Lord Cameron Abbott, oh my goodness. I have to wait for Mitch for this, Lord. I have to. I've got to. Let me know. Who do you think the Commanders will draft at pick number 2? It's got to be a quarterback. It's got to be J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, or Jayden Daniels. They traded away Sam Howell. They don't have a starter on the roster right now. Who are they going to draft at pick number 2? What? That's making it media for you. There is some dude over there with a weird, itchy-looking sweater with a bunch of different colors on it. If you go out there, you'll see it.
It looks like it's made of SpongeBob's eyelashes.
Yeah, you saw it.
Yes. I don't know who the guy is singing in the bathroom.
Hopefully he's not walking down the hallway and can't hear us right
though.
now. But
you walk in the bathroom and somebody's singing, you don't want to go in there.
People over on the other side, they do a lot of weird things in the bathroom.
It's weird. What?
Lord Cameron Abbott! Bang!
If you don't spam LCA, you get the hell out of here. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to getting it. Lots of pride to wear on my shoulders. What percentage?
Yoda said, Chiefs report guy singing in the restroom.
Nope. I was like, I had to check real quick. What do we got? What percentage do you think Jayden falls out of the top 3 quarterbacks? I think it's at least 90%.
Oh, I'm not that sure.
Oh, man. What about, I can explain your stance. I would say, I actually think that there is a 40% chance that Jayden falls out of the top 3. I'll say 40%. Maybe 30.
I give it a 15.
15? See, the way that I'll paint it in my mind is Caleb Williams, number 1. I think Drake May goes number 2. And the perfect draft for the Raiders is if Minnesota does really want, or if McCarthy goes off the board at 2, I'm saying 100%. Because then I think Minnesota does everything in their power to go up to number 3.
4, Drake May?
Drake May. That's their guy. Like, they added that extra first-round pick for a reason. So they have their eyes on somebody. And, like, that's usually when a team gets aggressive. Like, I know it might be crazy to even say, like, I don't even know if Washington is a guarantee to take a quarterback at 2 because to me, they wanted Caleb. Like, that was the guy they wanted. They tried to trade up for him.
Who's going to be their starter?
Oh, that's a disaster of a question. I don't know.
They're 100% taking a quarterback at 2.
See, if I was Washington and you didn't know, like, if it was your guy, okay? You didn't know if you had your guy. You trade back, you get 11 and 23 from Minnesota, and then you try to use those 2 picks to go get somebody.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I'm just trying to create a world where Jayden's available at 4. McCarthy goes off the board at 2. Drake May goes off the board at 3 because Minnesota trades up for him.
You know, if the Commanders didn't draft
I think they're still going to draft a quarterback. I'm saying they're not going to draft one at 2. Like, they might not draft one at 2. I'm saying if you're a brand new team that's built on a defense, like Dan Quinn is a defensive-minded guy. Again, he wants me to create a picture. That's how I'm creating it. I don't think it's likely.
I would say there's a 1% chance the Commanders don't draft quarterback at 2 or trade out. I think 99% of the time they draft a quarterback at 2.
But what if their guy isn't there? Like, what if they want Jayden, but Jayden doesn't want to go there? Like, I do think like that has to be part of the conversation. Now, like, if it was me, I'd probably just go with Drake May if I was Washington.
I just don't see them trading away Sam Howell and being like, you know what, we're not going to actually take a quarterback.
I'm not saying they're not going to take one. I'm saying if you're Washington and you're saying, all right, if the Minnesota Vikings are willing to give me 2 first-round picks this year and a 2025 and a 2026 the following year, and you're at pick 11, like, could you then potentially take a Michael Penix Jr. at pick 11 and have all that other draft capital?
The only reason I say no is because Dan Quinn got the job there. This is his second stint as a head coach.
Sure.
If he doesn't turn this program around in 2 years, I don't think he has an extremely long leash. I don't think they're like he has the perfect amount of time. You know, this is maybe his last opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL if it doesn't work out.
And I don't disagree with that. However, though, if you know how much that second-round pick is worth, and we're always just like in the mindset that all these coaches love every QB. Like, in a world where what if the Commanders did want Caleb Williams? Okay, all good in the hood, right? Like, but then Jayden doesn't want to go there, and Jayden's their guy. What if they don't like Drake May? What if they don't like J.J. McCarthy?
So who signed more players than anybody this offseason? Washington. You know who has maybe arguably top 5 draft picks in this year's draft? Washington. They have like 4 picks in the top 90, maybe 5 picks in the top 90.
They got a shit ton of picks.
So what does it benefit them trading back and just getting more picks? Well, you're not going to be able to keep all of them.
No, but just because you sign players doesn't mean that you're going to keep them. We see it every year.
But
teams sign players all the time that they don't keep.
But they don't need more draft picks in this. They've already have them stockpiled.
I know they have a lot of draft picks, but I'm also saying just because you trade back from 2, if you have pick 11, pick 23, and then if you have 4 other picks in the top 100, you can still package those deals to make other moves if there's another quarterback. Like, if I'm Washington and I think I can get Michael Penix Jr. at pick 11, I'm not going to take him at number 2. Like, all I'm saying is, like, we talk every single year about, oh, this guy's going to go here, this guy's going to go here, this guy's going here. But what if that team doesn't like that quarterback? That can happen.
It just makes no sense for them to be in a position to take a quarterback to then go back and gamble on maybe being able to get a guy at 11. When you don't have a...
I do not disagree with you.
Who would be the starter if they don't draft somebody?
They will draft somebody.
Okay, but who would be the starter if they don't?
No one.
Marcus Mariota.
They'd be better off running with 2 running backs out there.
Marcus Mariota. They're drafting a quarterback at 2.
Again, it's likely. I'm trying to say in this scenario here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one.
I don't think so.
If you ask me, do I think the Commanders are drafting a quarterback at 2, my answer is yes. But how does Jayden fall outside of the top 3? Here's my answer.
But you gave it a 30% chance of that happening.
I do think there's a 30% chance that Jayden falls out of the top 3. Because, again, I think Drake May's the number 2 quarterback. Like, I don't think Jayden goes to the Commanders. I really don't. I think Drake May's quarterback 2. And then if J.J. McCarthy's on the board and if Minnesota, who has already been very aggressive. It's been reported that they like McCarthy more than they like Jayden. If you're Minnesota and you already made those trades to make something happen, like, you're kind of sitting there going, well, we got to make something happen. I think Gerard Mayo has said that he believes the way that you can build a roster is by accumulating more picks and trading back, and he also said more first-round picks.
I think the only way that's happening is if Drake May gets picked number 2, and then, like you said, Minnesota trades up for JJ at 3.
Or JJ goes off the board at 2, and Drake May goes off the board at 3. I don't think it's impossible. I really don't think it's impossible at all. All right, let's get into the next segment coming up here on the show. I'm going to refresh my phone. Rebel, all right, you sent me another email. So here's the thing, guys. If you're going to send me emails, like, just make sure that they're the same ones. Rebel, I'll try that email next. I do got a few more people that are in for our duck race here, which it looks like No Santana wants 2. We'll get No in, and then Mr. Yoakum is also in for 2. So that means right now, winner would get $10 Venmo to get 1 spot. Winner would get $135 at the end of today's show.
Nico said, how do I get in on that Zoom?
Nico, how do you get in on the Zoom? Tune in tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow, where we're going to have deals tomorrow for the Zoom call. So, because, yesterday it was Buddy Bear and Zahn and I. And I'm not going to lie, it was kind of nice with only 3 people because there wasn't a lot of overlap. But I do want to add a little bit more to the mix.
Got to hang out with the homies.
Exactly. Did we go through all the other supers? We're all caught up? I don't know.
Actually, no.
I was going to say, I'm looking at some names up in there.
I think I might
Up in there. So Cameron Abbott, I got to add to the bang race here.
Annoying.
It's not pulling. And then Real Chance also in the bang race. Our April bang race right now is Zahn in first.
Oh, here we
Ira's
go.
in second. Navman is in third, which...
Here we go. I think this is...
And they're all very close.
The only one I'm missing is Noah Santana.
Says, Navman said, thanks for bouncing that D-bag, which I don't know what that means.
Oh, there's a dude being super douchey.
Adane Ventura said, did Cliff coach JD at any point?
I have that one. The only one I don't have is the Noah Santana.
Did Cliff coach JD at any point? Not to my knowledge. And then, so you're telling me there's a chance from Real Cowboy. There is a chance.
And then Noah Santana's, the one I was saying is, if we get, or at least try our best to get JD, it shows we are on the right path as a franchise.
And I couldn't agree more with that. To me, I don't think that people in general, organizations, businesses, if you just sit back, you're not going to make it. Sometimes you got to be aggressive. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to take those swings and misses, but you need to learn on those swings and misses. Like, you have to take chances in life and football and organizations and business. I don't care what you do. If you don't take chances, people are going to go right by you. And if you're the Raiders, you got to look at right now what your biggest need is. And, you need an offensive line. You need another corner. If you don't have a quarterback, it don't matter. And the Raiders don't have a quarterback right now. They don't have a single quarterback on their team that is a top 25 QB. Gardner Minshew is top 32-ish. Aidan is top 40-ish. But, like, with the defense that they're going to have, you have a Super Bowl caliber defense. Go get your quarterback. That's my mindset. Go get your guy. All right, we got 700 people here tuned in right now to the show. Coming up next here is I'm going to try to paint a picture of a possibility of the Raiders moving on from Aidan O'Connell. And, again, it's not something that they're going to do now. But after watching this show, I do think that there is a chance that it could happen this season. Like, there is just as much of a chance that the Raiders trade away Aidan as the Raiders trading up for Jayden Daniels. I think that's a cold, hard fact. Both are not likely, but both could absolutely happen. And I'm going to tell you how it's going to happen here on today's show. You ready?
I'm ready.
You guys ready? All right, here we go. Let's get lit. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And today's show presented by Manscaped. I know we're talking about trading away Aidan O'Connell, but to make sure that you don't get traded away, Make sure your ball's down there looking great. Manscaped's going to help you do it. Manscaped.com, code Raiders, 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. That link's going to be available to you all down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So coming up here, I am a believer that there is a chance the Raiders trade Aidan O'Connell this offseason. I'm not saying they're going to trade him now. In fact, I think it doesn't make any sense to trade Aidan O'Connell now. This entire idea of them moving on from Aidan is either on draft night or after the 2024 NFL draft. And I know people are going to get upset, and people are going to be like, oh, Mitch, you don't like Aidan. I love Aidan. I love everything that guy represents. When you talk about a football player that was an 8th-string quarterback at Purdue, worked his way to be a starter, the fact that he was the 3rd-string quarterback last year for the Raiders, worked his way or kind of got the job because the other two guys were terrible, it's hard to not root for a guy like Aidan. But when I do this show, I do it with the mindset of I'm not going to fall in love with players. It is the shield above everything else. And I am 100% on board with the idea of there is a chance that Aidan could get traded after the NFL draft. And after watching today's show, if you don't agree with that, then I think that you're just an Aidan homer. And that's okay, but I'm a Raider homer. So coming up here, why Aidan could be traded this offseason, because there was one thing that we talk about basically every live show. There's one thing that continues to get circulated out there on social media that people just aren't adding 2 and 2 together. And to me, when you add 1 + 1, it equals Aidan O'Connell getting traded. And we'll talk about it here in just a second. But here's the thing that I really want to say, because if you're looking for daily Raiders videos, if you're looking for live shows where we're going to have a good time and we're going to chop it up, talk Raiders football, hit that subscribe button. If you get upset about me talking about a topic in the offseason, then don't subscribe. I don't want to hear bitching and moaning. I don't want to hear, oh, Mitch is talking about trading Aidan. Let's have an adult conversation. You can disagree with me. Just have an adult conversation about it. Don't insult me. Don't say horrible things to each other. All we're trying to do is create free content every single day around the team that we love. If you're on board for that, subscribe. If this video offends you, life's going to be tough. Don't hit that sub button. So coming up here, why Aidan could be traded this offseason. And it's not likely. It's not likely at all. In fact, I would say that there is just as likely of a chance that the Raiders trade up for Jayden Daniels as there is a chance that the Raiders trade away Aidan O'Connell. And the reason why that I say that is this. If the Las Vegas Raiders, if the silver and black go out and you trade up and you go get your guy Jayden Daniels, or if you end up taking a quarterback like Michael Penix Jr., that is why you can move on from AOC. Because at one point, like, if it's going to be an open quarterback battle between Aidan and Gardner Minshew, that's a quarterback battle. If you then add your rookie quarterback into that mix, call me crazy, I think Jayden's beating out Aidan O'Connell. And if anybody out there is like, no, Jayden's not beating out Aidan, then you don't trade up all those picks to get him. If you don't think that the Heisman Trophy winner is beating out Aidan O'Connell for a starting job, he doesn't even deserve to go in the top 10. So why would you even trade up for him? My thing is, if you trade up all those picks and AP gets his guy, yes, there is a world of a possibility that Jayden doesn't start this year. And the Raiders have said that they might be willing to have that quarterback sick for a year. But here's the thing. Aidan's still not going to be the starter. It's going to be Gardner Minshew then. So, like, I'm so confident in Jayden's ability to not only be a passer, he's gotten better, but also his ability as a runner. And there's just not a world that I live in that doesn't think that Jayden beats out Gardner, that Jayden beats out Aidan O'Connell. Hell, I know that I'm not as high on Michael Penix Jr. as some other people that are out there, but, like, we got to call a spade here. Is Michael Penix Jr. a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew? I think he's going to be a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew. Is Michael Penix Jr. a better quarterback than Aidan O'Connell? I think he's going to be a better quarterback than Aidan O'Connell. So if the Raiders draft either of those two guys, then the Raiders clearly believe that they need a franchise quarterback. Like, you're not giving up 3 first-round picks for Jayden, and you're not going to take a quarterback at potentially pick 13, or you might even have to trade up a little bit for Penix if you are 100% confident in the current quarterbacks that you have. And AP has said it, that they want an athlete who can run the football, that they don't want a Band-Aid, that they want somebody that can be a franchise quarterback for the next 10 years. No disrespect to Gardner. No disrespect to Aidan. They're not one of those guys. Penix, maybe. Jayden Daniels, maybe. And because of all those reasons, if you draft one of those two dudes, Aidan, I'm sorry, you have a chance to get traded. So here's your opportunity to be honest with me. If the Raiders end up drafting Jayden Daniels or Michael Penix Jr., would it be smart to move on from Aidan O'Connell? Give me a yes or I want you to give me a no down below. And this is going to be the pinned comment. And if you answer yes to this, that doesn't mean you hate Aidan O'Connell. It just means that we're having an honest conversation. And after this YouTube ad break is going to be my answer. If you waited that ad break and you didn't know this answer is yes, then you definitely should not subscribe to this show. Of course the Raiders should move on from Aidan, but it's also the right thing to do for Aidan. And if the Raiders do actually care about him as a human being, then yes, you move on from him every single day of the week because you know that he's not going to be anything more than a quarterback 3. The other reason here of why I believe the Raiders could trade Aidan O'Connell is this team decided to sign Gardner Minshew. What did they do the first day of free agency? They went out, they got Christian Wilkins. What was the other biggest thing that they did? Because they really haven't done anything this offseason. They went out and they signed Gardner Minshew. That speaks volumes to me. And do I think Gardner is a elite starting quarterback? No. Do I think he's a fringe top 25 quarterback? Yes, I do. Do I think Gardner is a better quarterback than Aidan O'Connell? Yes, I do. Do I think that Aidan and Gardner is going to be a hell of a quarterback battle if the Raiders don't end up getting a quarterback? Yes, I do. But the fact that this regime decided one of their biggest needs was to go out and give the biggest contract to the backup quarterback market, that was their need. Actions speak louder than words. When you give Gardner 2 years, $25 million with $15 million guaranteed, that tells me one thing, that the Raiders thought it was a big need. They decided to bring back Andre James. They have decided to really focus on defensive tackle. They went out, they got themselves a quarterback in Gardner Minshew. That is everything that they were doing. And they were trying to bring back some of their guys like an Isaiah Paulomeo, an Adam Butler, a John Jenkins. They made their priorities very, very clear. And the fact that the Raiders gave Gardner $15 million guaranteed, that tells me if they draft a quarterback, Gardner's the quarterback too. So that means either Aidan's beating out Penix or Aidan's beating out Jayden. And I don't think either of those situations are going to happen. So coming up here, I got more reasons why Aidan O'Connell could be traded. And making this video, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for it. And that's okay to me. But when I do this show and when people think about what the Raiders report is and what being a Raider fan is, it's you can't put a player above the shield. Simple as that. Also, if you guys want to see my shield, it's pretty shiny right now. Why? Because I use Manscaped. And I want you guys to use Manscaped too. 20% off. All you got to do is use promo code Raiders, and you're also going to get free shipping on top of that. On top of everything that Manscaped offers, the month of April, I know that some people that watch the show a lot know that I've had a lot of family members pass away from cancer, and cancer, it sucks. No doubt about it. And did you know that one man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? In fact, testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer amongst men aged 15 to 35. With April being National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, our friends at Manscaped have partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Visit manscaped.com/TCS, which you guys can see right now down in the comments and in the description, to learn how to check yourself for early signs of cancer. As always, you can also use promo code Raiders for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. In addition to providing the right tools and solutions for comfortable and easy grooming, Manscaped is committed to raising awareness and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer. That is why they're going to be donating $50,000 to the Testicular Cancer Society. Help save lives and balls by going over to manscaped.com/TCS and sharing their funny, educational, check yourself video. While you're at it, grab your nuts and 20% off, plus free shipping with code Raiders, because like a famous American philosopher once said, take care of your chicken, your balls, and your mentals. And I think that y'all would be insane not to go down to manscaped.com, but also on top of that, why not support a good cause? Make sure your balls are looking good. And I think sometimes when you do a show like this, it's a good reminder that you guys should go get your checkups, that you should go to manscaped.com/TCS, just because nobody thinks that it's ever going to happen to them. And I've had a lot of people that it has happened to them. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourself. Make sure your balls are looking great. Manscaped.com, code Raiders. Here we go. Next reason why I believe that there's a chance that Aidan could get traded is because Aidan's not a quarterback 3. In the world of Raiders content creators, I'm probably the one that's the lowest on how good I think Aidan is. I'll also say that I think I'm the most real on how good Aidan is, where I don't view him as a top 32 quarterback. He's not a starting caliber quarterback. He is a really good backup. I'll also say this, though. He's not a quarterback 3. So if you draft a Penix, if you draft a Jayden Daniels, and because the money you gave Gardner Minshew, he's quarterback 2, it's a disservice to your roster, and it's a disservice to Aidan to put him at quarterback 3. Like, if you keep AOC as your quarterback 3, it's a loss of value, and it's not something that you said you were going to do. If you're going to do right by your guys, it's not smart to keep Aidan as your quarterback 3. What's smarter is to trade him away and get a little bit of extra draft capital. And I know the Raiders respect Aidan. I know the players respect Aidan. There is nobody inside of that locker room that does not love number 4. And I'll also say that there isn't 64 quarterbacks better than Aidan. So because there's not 64 better quarterbacks out there, there will be a market for him. I don't think that it's going to be a market nearly as high as some of the people that I see in the live comments right now. But, like, if you know that you're going to have a quarterback 3, could you trade away Aidan for an extra depth piece, maybe on defense, maybe an extra depth piece that wide receiver at the offensive line position? Could you just trade him for an extra draft capital and, get picks that this regime wants? Because I know we love Aidan, but this regime did not draft Aidan. And Aidan is the perfect quarterback for a Josh McDaniel system. Like, that's why Aidan was picked. And for AP to say that he wants a quarterback that can use his legs, I'll tell you this, Aidan, that's never going to be him. So if you end up drafting a Jayden Daniels, guess what? Jayden's going to be your quarterback 1. Gardner's going to be your quarterback 2 based on the $15 million guaranteed that they already gave him. If you end up drafting a Michael Penix Jr., well, then guess what? Michael's probably going to be the QB1. Gardner's going to be the QB2. Now, there is a scenario that Gardner and Aidan battle it out for QB1, and Penix is just sitting back, and Jayden's just sitting back for a year. But, like, if you put Gardner and Aidan in a quarterback battle the entire offseason, I am putting my money on Gardner. Why? That's the guy that they would want to succeed, and I don't think that they're going to put Penix or Jayden as that quarterback 3. We're going to keep it rolling here of why Aidan could potentially get traded this offseason. But if you don't already know, shout out to the Noti Gang. The Noti Gang are people that are subscribed, people that are hitting that notification bell and taking pride on themselves to be the very first comment that I love when people see the video and they want to go comment right away. It helps me out, but it also shows me what people are actually doing what I tell them to do, which, believe it or not, I do appreciate. So Madvet, Isaac, Matt, to the Queen, BO3, salute to all you. And if you want to see your name on a future show, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and it's every time I drop a video, try to be the first to comment. Let's go to the next one here. Teams would be interested. There's no doubt in my mind that there would be teams out there that would be interested in Aidan O'Connell. And some of these AOC trade destinations, like the number one team to me that would be the most interested is the Los Angeles Rams, which might surprise some of y'all because you're going to be like, well, didn't they just sign Jimmy Garoppolo to a 1-year, $4 million deal? My answer to that is yes, they did. But nobody really thinks that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be able to stay healthy, do they? I know I don't. I also know that the Rams wanted to be able to have a young quarterback. They drafted Stetson Bennett, round 4 pick 128, 7 picks before Aidan O'Connell. And with Matthew Stafford's injury history, with Jimmy Garoppolo's injury history, if you could get an extra quarterback like Aidan to be a little bit more of security, I think it's worthwhile. He's better than Sean Clifford, their quarterback too. Miami Dolphins have Mike White. I think Aidan's probably better than Mike White, and Tua gets injured all the time. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have Baker Mayfield, and then the next guy is Kyle Trask. Aidan is an upgrade over Kyle Trask. So because these are the only 4 teams, these are legitimately the only 4 teams in the NFL that Aidan O'Connell is better than their backup quarterback. And because of that, I could see these 4 teams saying, you know what, we'll give you a late round pick, and then that way we can take Aidan off your hands here a little bit. And because you could also get the extra draft capital. That's the final reason of why the Raiders could trade Aidan. And whether that draft capital is on draft night, like if a team ended up picking up the phone and saying, hey, we'll give you a 6th round pick for Aidan, I think the Raiders would say yes, honestly. So would the draft capital be the following year if you already took your quarterbacks and then, it's in the 2025 draft? Well, then that conversation changes a little bit of what Aidan's value is from top to bottom. So my question to you is this. Before I tell you what I think Aidan's value is, if the Raiders were to trade him, what is he worth in a trade? Is he worth a 1st round pick? Is he he worth a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh? Let me know down below after this YouTube ad break my answer. If the Raiders were to trade Aidan O'Connell before the NFL draft, I would say that there would be a team then that is going out looking for Aidan. And because they're going out and looking for Aidan, it's a 5th-round pick. If it's during the NFL draft just to get a deal done, I would say a 6th-round pick would probably be what you get. If it's after the draft, this is a 7th-round pick in the 2025 NFL draft. Because at that point, you got to think of Justin Fields went for a 6th. This would be a yard sale, and then they would decide to move on from AOC. So all 5 of those reasons are why that I believe that if the Raiders are legitimate and they take Jayden, or if they take Penix, that they can move on from Aidan. That's it. Like, if the Raiders don't end up taking a quarterback, they're not trading Aidan O'Connell. It doesn't make sense to trade Aidan. But my biggest point of this entire show is Aidan's not a quarterback 3. You could get value for him, and it would be a disservice to put Aidan as a quarterback 3 on your roster. If you want to do right by a young man that you say is a stand-up dude, and he is a stand-up guy, and you already are showing everybody that you value Gardner more, and then if you pick a quarterback in the top 13, that tells you what you think about Aidan O'Connell. Then what you do is you say, all right, Aidan, thank you very much. We'll send you to another team and wish you the best of luck. I love Aidan. He's a stand-up guy. He's a hell of a dude. But at the end of the day, when you make this show, when you're a Raider fan, it's the shield above all. It's just win, baby. And Aidan O'Connell being the quarterback 3 does not help this team. Trading him away and getting extra draft picks, or maybe having an extra player for a little bit of depth, that does help the team, which is why I believe if the Raiders take Penix or Jayden Daniels, they could trade away AOC. Lord Cameron Abbott, bang! You know what? Lord Cameron Abbott's been balling out today. Lord Cameron Abbott.
With Caleb going 1, Jayden's dislike for Washington coaches, having the situation like this, do you think Jayden would pull an Eli and hold out for the Raiders at pick 4 with them moving up for him? AP wants him badly.
No. He's already made it very well known that he'd be okay playing for New England.
The thing that people forget about that whole situation with Eli Manning is that what makes it different than everybody else is Eli was already a part of a football family, a football legacy with his dad, Arch Manning.
That's also why Shedeur will be able to do it.
Because Jayden, his leg to stand on isn't as bad as it sounds with the legacy of Eli Manning compared to Jayden Daniels.
You're not wrong.
He doesn't have as much to stand on of like, yeah, my dad was an all-pro. I've been around this business for this long. I'm willing to take my chances. Where Jayden Daniels, this is generational money for his family.
Yeah.
Nobody in to my knowledge, I don't know.
You're right. I don't
Daniels'
know either.
Whole family, but to my knowledge, Jayden Daniels, this would be generational money for his family. Eli Manning going into the draft, his family was already rich. Yeah. His dad played in the NFL.
Peyton Manning was fine too.
He did not need a If he didn't make the NFL, Eli Manning would be fine today. He'd have a nice house in Upper Westchester. Yeah. He'd be chilling.
Yeah.
I don't know, obviously, Jayden Daniels' family financials
Jayden probably made a few million off NIL deals this past year, which is still great money, but I'm with you. Like, Eli had that ability because of everything that Jeremy just said.
He had a safety
social
net.
Media now. Yeah. I mean, anybody in life, if you have a safety net, like I have one of my buddies, and I'm not going to mention his name, but his family comes from a shit ton of money. And I see him doing stuff all the time where I'm like,
I would never do that.
I'm like, how is that even possible? Right? But if you know you have a safety net, it doesn't matter. Like, I love my dad, I love my mom, and they watch the show all the time. I don't have a safety net. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm the safety net. So it's like, you got to be able to make certain choices in your life, and Eli had that ability to do it. I don't think Jayden has even close to the net of Eli. And I know there's like the rumors where Shedeur, next year when Shedeur comes out in the draft, he is going to be able to pick his spot. And Deion's going to pick his spot.
His dad basically already said Raiders, Cowboys, 49ers, Ravens, Washington are the teams that I want my son to go to.
There you go.
And the Falcons.
And that's going to happen. And I I'm going to be real with y'all. I think that this type of stuff is going to happen more and more and more because even in the last 5 years, 10 years especially, the power shift of players and how much control they have, especially with social media. I mean, it's a big factor. What that has with teams and what they do, I mean, it's big. And there's not many players as big as Shedeur Sanders, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yep. If you haven't already, which have you given shout-outs to more people joining the race? I know we had a good amount.
Let me see. I see the last name that I saw in was Lord Cameron. Actually, I'm just going to put it as LCA because it might be a lot of. So right now we have winner $10 Venmo. You'd have a chance to win $145. $145.
That's a really good deal.
It is a really good deal. For a chance to get in, $10 Venmo. I also see my guy, Raider Rudy. He's always hit me up on IG. Rudy, it's all good. You don't have to agree with everything that I say. I don't want people to agree with everything that I say. But what I do want people to do is it's okay to disagree with me and then just, like you did, say that you disagreed with me. What I don't like is we have a difference of opinion and then it turns into your mom this, your dad that, F you, F that.
Do you know how much my dad benches? None. I don't know my dad.
Well, on that note, I'm going to put on a different jersey. I don't even know. We got a few more. Oh, you're in. Is that why you asked?
Let's go.
Okay. Chugs is
I've been itching to get in a race. I couldn't get in March Madness. I haven't been able to get in races lately.
Moshav is in. Luis is in. You know what? I want y'all to know that we cannot rig this. I'll put myself in. Giggity. Let's go. I'm in. And then I also see Elijah in.
Black Lion Supreme. You're not wrong. There's a reason why Minshew's on his third team in the past 3 years. He's not a permanent starter for an organization.
He's not a permanent starter, but he's much better than Aidan.
But there's also a reason why 3 teams have been willing to give him decent-sized contracts.
There's also a reason why Gardner got the highest-paid quarterback contract this offseason, as a backup.
Yeah.
2 years, $25 million is high-end backup money.
Yeah.
It is.
Wait, did you already change?
I did not.
Oh. I was like, I've had you off. I didn't see you change. Quick change. David's on LMAO, buddy. Did Zahn enter? I haven't seen Zahn in the chat earlier. Did Zahn just enter the chat?
What's up, Zahn? Zahn, Buddy Bear, and I, we had a hell of a time last night, which, Zahn, and you can confirm, because I don't think Buddy Bear's here. Zahn, did we talk on Zoom yesterday? Because I was blown away by the amount of people that were like, you didn't do the Zoom chat yesterday, and people were calling me out. So, Zahn, I need to know. I need confirmation.
They're both there.
Buddy Bear and Zahn, can you please confirm that we did talk on Zoom? We did a Zoom chat yesterday. And I don't know why some people got it and some people didn't.
Zahn saw my feet.
That's also true. That is
93 nav, man. If we go offensive line,
yes, we did.
That we have if we go O-line that we can have and create, a Gardner Minshew will kill it. Needs to be the attitude if you can keep him on his feet. A round 2 quarterback would be great. Look at the tape on Gardner Minshew and he's a locker room leader.
I mean, he's a great competitor, right? He's a phenomenal competitor. And honestly, Gardner kind of reminds me a little bit like if Aidan O'Connell was a surfer that enjoyed April 20th, that's what, Gardner's a better athlete, but Aidan and Gardner, they're both great teammates. They're not ever going to take you to a Super Bowl, but that competitive factor that they're going to bring, I had a Raider player tell me last year that Aidan, when he shows up to practice, he was as close to being a pro as a rookie as you're going to find, which that's going to land him a lot of jobs. And, one of the things I used to always talk about with Nathan Peterman, not good enough to be an NFL quarterback.
Do his teammates go to his birthday party?
What story is that again?
from draft day. Nobody goes to the quarterback's birthday party, and they're like, I don't know, man.
Like, how do I know that story? But you're right, though. Like, those are little things that don't add up. And, Nathan Peterman keeps getting contracts in the NFL because I was told by a player that was like, Peterman's one of the smartest guys in the room, and he could pick up a book. He could pick up that play sheet, and he knows exactly what he's going to do.
I thought you were about to say he can pick up a book and read it.
He probably can do that, too. I've never been around him, but I'm going to guess that he can. What Jayden Daniels news update did I miss? Essentially, the update was that, according to Evan Silva, Jayden's meeting with the Washington Commanders did not go well. Now, we don't know what meeting that was in terms of combine or after this pro day, but his meeting did not go well. And the reason why that's interesting is because there's been now multiple stories around Jayden not getting along with Adam Peters, the general manager of the Washington Commanders. So that's the story here. We got one more segment to do here on the Raiders
This might be
Report.
my favorite. This is the one I convinced Mitch to do today.
Yep. Which, the last two segments you've convinced me to do, people have not liked, but they've been bangers. I mean, they've been bangers, man. Like, and Jeremy and I, we had an honest conversation today. We were like, it's the off season.
Good thing you didn't use my title.
Yeah, it's probably been one of the deadest time periods that we've ever seen in March and April since doing this show. And I had a few Raider fans ask me, like, is there a chance? So I took a little bit of a deep dive. Jeremy asked me today, and you know what? I'm going to let my hair down. And like I said earlier, if you don't enjoy free content, if you don't enjoy just the place to come talk a little bit of Raiders football, everything I say on here, not everything's going to happen. In fact, a lot of the rumors that we do talk about don't happen. However, this show is designed on the idea of I love to talk speculation on the NFL. I love to talk Raiders. And when there's nothing going on in the league, I also refuse to talk about Tom Brady today. I was like, you know what? We're going to talk about Micah Parsons. And could there be a chance for the Raiders to trade for him? Because if he's on the open market, all 32 teams, all 31 teams.
Could you imagine being at a bar, bunch of Raider fans, your friends, Raider Nation around you, you're drinking, and you're like, bro, could you imagine the Raiders trading for Micah Parsons and one dude coming up to your face and going, no, we're not talking about that. It's not going to happen. Raiders aren't doing it. You'd be like, you need to chill the F out, man.
You'd be like, bro, you need to leave. What happened there is you say, and you get into a conversation about it. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. It's the off season, and to be quite frank, I wanted to talk about it. So that's why we're doing it. I also got to give a few more shout-outs here to some people that continuously get into our duck race. So the last name that I gave a shout-out to was Timmy Jones. Next one is Wesley Lawson is in. Zach Martin is in. Steve OK is in. Yoda Jenkins is in. And then Brooks Nelson also in, which means right now $10 Venmo for a chance to win $200. $200.
Let's get it.
200. All right, y'all.
That coming up after this segment, Mitch.
I'll say this. I owe, if my math is correct, which it is, I have 9 more beer bongs to do.
For tomorrow?
Well, until my debt is paid.
Yeah.
I have 9 more until my debt is paid. My goal today was to get through all of them. I've done 2 boots and a beer bong. My debt is slowly getting chipped down. It's getting chipped down here a little bit. All right, y'all, let's make some people mad. Let's talk about Micah Parsons. I'll be real. I can't wait. And I mean, I can't wait to see the comments on this show because I know they're going to be electric. But the people that watch this thing, you know.
I pressed it too soon.
It's okay.
Too soon.
It's all right. We'll go back to it here in a sec. A sec.
Wow. That was
Brooks
close.
Nelson, what's up, man? Ron Raspberry, so you have 10 left? No, I have
9 left.
9 left. Because I was at 17 when I started today's show. 2 boots. Oh, wow, yeah, that math ain't mathin'. I did a beer bong,
So
2
10
boots,
left.
so I do have 10 left. See? Good job, Ron. Keep me accountable. Keep me accountable. Yep, Navman said negative. Robert Jansen, I know. Math, it's not my strong suit. Coming up, let's talk about Micah Parsons here on the Raiders Report. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, could the Las Vegas Raiders trade for Cowboys star edge rusher Micah Parsons? If you're wondering, Mitch, why the hell are we talking about it? The reason, there's multiple sources out there indicating that the Dallas Cowboys are unhappy with Micah, and all 31 teams, if you don't at least pick up the phone and call Jerry Jones, then you're not doing the right job, because he's one of the best players in the NFL, and all 31 teams would be interested. So according to Sean Sharif, who is a host of 105.3 The Fan, said, I have heard from way too many people this offseason. I'm talking about at least 4 different people have told me that Micah has worn thin there. I don't know how much is true and how much is actually hurts his reputation. I don't know whether this is the behavior of a typical superstar. I don't know how damaging it is, but all I do know is this. I have heard from way too many people that if Micah Parsons was out there, there would be a decent amount of people inside the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco smiling or breathing a sigh of relief. So essentially, this is somebody who's very well connected with the Dallas Cowboys, saying that there are a lot of people inside of the Cowboys facility, inside the Cowboys coaching staff, that if Micah Parsons left, that there would be a sigh of relief. And I'm going to say this. If you want free Raiders videos, hit that subscribe button. Do not hit that subscribe button if me simply talking about something that I would talk about with all my friends, like Graf's going to be on the show on Friday. If you're getting offended by something that I would talk about with all my buddies at a bar, then you can get the F out of here. I don't want you around. And this is the off season. We're providing free content. Let's have an adult conversation. And if you don't want Micah, cool, just say it. But at least let's have the conversation, because if Micah Parsons becomes available, if all 31 NFL GMs don't pick up the phone and call Jerry Jones, probably the oldest human being in the NFL right now, and not try to take advantage of that deal, then you're not very good at your job. So coming up here, we're going to talk about why I would trade for Micah Parsons, because I do think that there are reasons why you should, and I do think that there are reasons why you shouldn't. And just like that with everything that there is in life, like there are pros, there are cons, and good NFL teams weigh out all those options. And before anybody says, Mitch, Micah Parsons is never getting traded, Micah Parsons is never getting traded to the Raiders, this is my favorite part about doing NFL shows, because as soon as you say it's never going to happen, it does happen. Hell, I can remember when all these people, all these Texans fans, were calling Chugs crazy because he put out an idea of the Texans traded for Stephon Diggs 2 weeks before it happened. Guess what? It ends up happening. Tyreek Hill never getting traded away from the Kansas City Chiefs. Guess what happened? Snap of a finger. The Denver Broncos are never going to trade for Russell Wilson. Wilson's not going to go anywhere. Snap of a finger, it happened. Hell, I can remember people told me I was crazy that the Broncos were going to cut Wilson and eat $90 million dead cap hit. I was talking about that in January. Guess what? It happened. This one, I had to eat the world's spiciest chip because I said the Raiders will never trade for Devontae Adams. 9 hours later, guess what? It happened. The Khalil Mack trade. When we started this show, I was on Facebook, and I said that there was a chance Khalil Mack is going to get traded. The names I was called on Facebook. Oh, man. Guess what? It happened. All my point is on doing this show is trades can happen. Nothing is impossible. But you know what? It's the off season, and I want to talk about it here a little bit. So what do you think here? Do you want the Raiders to trade for Micah Parsons? If it comes out that the Dallas Cowboys are shopping edge rusher Micah Parsons, do you do it? It's going to cost a lot. Give me a yes or give me a no. What do you think? My answer coming up after this YouTube ad break. There is reasons why I would, and there are reasons why I wouldn't. And the reason why that I say that is because you're not trading for a player like Micah. You're not investing all this money in him. You're not investing all the draft capital unless several other things fall in line. And if you're the Raiders, you got to make sure that all your I's are dotted, all your T's are crossed if you're going to pull off a blockbuster deal like this. So coming up here, I'm going to tell you why the Raiders should and why they shouldn't trade for Micah Parsons. That is all coming up here on the Raiders Report because, again, I'm not doing a deal like that unless other things fall in line. So you can make this is like a show of pick your own adventure. You can either join me on my adventure of trading for Micah, or you can pick the adventure of joining me on why you wouldn't trade for Micah Parsons. But I do got to give a shout out to our sponsor here today, LinkedIn Jobs. And if anybody out there is not on LinkedIn, get started. And I know some people that follow me on social media know that Chat Sports, we have been hiring. And the only place that we trust when we hire is over at LinkedIn. And what's really crazy is if it wasn't for LinkedIn, I wouldn't even be here as the host of the Raiders Report. And these days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster and for free. It's why small businesses rank LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So it's easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Like, the reason why that I'm throwing this out there is from doing this show, I've been able to meet a lot of people that do own their own business. Like the guy from Panda Sups, Murbad. He's been on the show for a long, long time. Uses LinkedIn. Justin Abgen, he owns his own plumbing company. He's watching the show all the time. I hope he uses LinkedIn when he hires new people. Here at Chat Sports, guess what? We use LinkedIn. We are a small business. When I started working here, we were probably at like 6, 7 people. Then we were at 4 people, and now we got a Cincinnati branch. We are building here something special in Dallas. My point is, I'm sitting up here looking at all of y'all in the eye saying, we use LinkedIn to help build Chat Sports. Why? Because we trust LinkedIn. And if you trust me, you trust what we're building here at Chat Sports, if you're trying to start up your own business or you got a small business, you should trust LinkedIn and go to linkedin.com/NFL Daily. Those links are available to you all down in the comments and in the description of today's show. So coming up here, why I would trade for Micah Parsons if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm a guy that likes a good deal. And in this situation, if this ends up going down, if you have the opportunity to trade for a top 10 player in the NFL, a elite player that you're going to be able to get at a discount, why the hell would you not at least consider it? Because this isn't a situation where the Raiders are going out and they're saying, hey, I want to trade for Micah Parsons. If that happens, get your checkbook out, get all your draft picks out. It's going to be expensive. In this situation, the Cowboys are like, I don't really know if I want to handle this Parsons situation anymore, and we got to pick between paying Dak or Micah. I don't know if they're going to be able to do both because I would say the cheapest owner in the NFL, it might be Jerry Jones, and if they might have to pick between that. So the reason why you're going to do it, number one, he's an elite player. Can you imagine the defense? Can you imagine the opposing quarterback? Can you imagine the opposing offensive coordinator going, I got to try to figure out a way to block Maxx Crosby, Micah Parsons, and Christian Wilkins? Good luck. Right? You could bring 3 and you could drop back the other 8 and you're still going to be putting up insanity type of numbers. He's one of the best in the biz of being able to pin his ears back, go after, and get the quarterback. I mean, look at the numbers here from just the past 2 seasons, 2022, 2023. Micah is right up there with, guess who? Maxx Crosby. Crosby's the better run stopper. Micah might actually be the better player at getting after the QB. What I do know is this. They're both extremely competitive human beings. And if Maxx gets a sack, Micah's going to want 2. If Micah gets 2 sacks, Max's going to want 3. Competition, as AP said, is never a bad thing. The other reason why I would potentially do it is he's got 2 years left on his rookie deal. I'll admit, if you trade for him, you're probably going to have to pay him big. However, though, there is like that part of the discussion where it's like, all right, we can trade for him. And then he does have those 2 years left on his rookie deal. So at least there's a potential that 1 year, maybe 1 year, you still get him on a rookie deal. If I'm Antonio Pearson, I'm Tom Telesco, and there's a legitimate chance that I got to roll with the quarterbacks that I have, having Micah on a rookie deal, having Maxx Crosby, having this entire defense that we have, like, I already think that the Raiders might have the best defense in the NFL. You had Micah, and there's no more discussion in that. If you believe defense wins championships, then yes, this is something that you do. If the Raiders don't plan to extend Malcolm Koonce, I've said on this show time and time and time again, I would extend Malcolm Koonce. I would give him a contract. I'd get it done. He's got 1 year left on his deal, and he's going to be a free agent next offseason. Hear me out, though. What if Malcolm wants a lot more money than it's expected? What if Malcolm's like, hey, I want $14, $15 million a year coming off the season that I had? If you're the Raiders, do you decide to give Malcolm that contract, or do you decide to go out and get a guy like Micah Parsons, who's younger and he is better? I think everybody watching the show right now loves Malcolm, no doubt about it. But if you're legitimately not considering of bringing him back and you're going to put all your trust in Tyree Wilson, I don't know if I like that idea. So if you're the Raiders and you're like, no, I'm not going to bring back Malcolm, why not go get Micah Parsons then? And because, well, you're probably going to have to move on from Malcolm if you do end up getting a guy like Micah. The other one is this. The Raiders aren't paying a quarterback right now. You got Aidan O'Connell on a rookie contract. Even if you drafted Jayden Daniels and Michael Penix Jr., it's not a lot of money. You're not paying a QB $50, $60 million per year, where you'd be able to have the money to be able to allocate, especially towards your salary cap right now. Like, the Raiders would have enough money on their salary cap right now to allocate that to go get a guy like Micah Parsons. You'd be able to do it right now. Like, yeah, the Cowboys probably wouldn't do it because they're going to eat a lot of dead money, but if you really want to get out of a certain situation, it's possible. And sure, the Raiders gave Gardner Minshew, I get it, 2 years, $25 million, but his salary cap's only $8 million. And when you're in this quarterback situation that the Raiders are in, you have the ability to pay a guy like Micah a little bit more money. The last one is this, and maybe the most important reason. Maxx Crosby and Micah Parsons are great friends. They work out every offseason together. Micah comes down to in this area, Texas. For those who don't know, Max down here in this area in Texas. They work out together. Like, it's not often that another NFL player on another team is as open and honest about their friendship with another player. And Max is very open about his friendship with Micah. Like, when those two go up against each other, it's nothing but love. It's also great competition. But, I mean, here's a picture of Micah before a Cowboys game rocking a Maxx Crosby jersey or Maxx Crosby t-shirt. Like, if Max, who has been everything to this organization, think about it. If he's backed up Antonio Pierce, if Maxx Crosby said out loud to everybody right now, I want the Raiders to trade for Micah Parsons, I think the Raiders try to do it. And I think there's a lot of Raider fans out there that at first when they were watching the show, they were like, no way do you do it. The fact that Max backs it up, the fact that Max is everything of what a Raider is supposed to be, like, I'm going to be real. The reason why I made this show is because I know how great of friends Max and Micah are. And you unite those two guys, I think all the concerns of everything going on around Micah evaporates. You know who's going to get him even at a higher level? Maxx Crosby and Antonio Pierce. And if you believe in those two guys, and you also believe in Rob Leonard and Patrick Graham, dude, Micah in a Raiders jersey, I'm telling you right now, I think it would make a lot of people not forget about Khalil Mack, but it would make the pain a little bit less, just a little bit less. So how about this? Let's have a little bit of fun, because you got to play both sides of this, because there are reasons why you should, and there are reasons why you shouldn't trade Micah. And coming up here, I'm going to tell you why it doesn't make sense for the Raiders to do it. The biggest reason for me personally is edge isn't a huge need right now. Yeah, you could build some depth, and I still want the Raiders to go out and get a few extra depth pieces at defensive end. What I don't want, though, is if you trade for Micah, then that means Malcolm Koonce is going to get less snaps. I want the Raiders to give Malcolm more opportunities. To me, he earned it in the final 9 games when Antonio Pierce took over last season. He had 8 sacks. Like, to me, if you're going to spend all this money and all this draft capital, at least it be on a position that we really, really need. Yes, we need depth, but I'm very confident in Max and Malcolm to be able to get after the quarterback. Sure, there's that other side of it. You can never have too many edge rushers, especially when you're going up against Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert all the time. But, like, it's not a big-time need. The other reason why I don't know if I would do it is because it's going to cost tons of draft capital. Even in the scenario that Micah says, or not even Micah, but Jerry Jones, the Cowboys, like, you know what, I want to get rid of this situation. He's not fitting well with our locker room, blah, blah, blah. If the reports are true that the Cowboys would take a little bit of a sigh of relief, it's going to cost a ton of draft capital. And the trade that I would think about is the Khalil Mack trade, where nobody a part of Raider Nation wanted the Raiders to trade Khalil Mack, but you know who did? John Gruden. And because he wanted to trade him away, he was willing to do it for a little bit less of a price. So let's play a little bit of a game here where if the Cowboys wanted to move on from Micah and they're like, you know what? We'll take 2 first-round picks, a 6th, and a 3rd-round pick, and then the opposing team gets Micah Parsons, and then they're also able to get a 2nd and a 7th rounder. Like, this is a deal where that's not that expensive considering how great Khalil was and considering how great Micah Parsons is right now. The other reason is you will have to pay him. And the number I'm about to throw out, some people might look at and they're going to roll their eyes a little bit. But like if Josh Allen, the defensive end, is getting $28 million, if Brian Burns is getting $28 million, Nick Bosa making $34 million per year. Here's the thing. Micah's going to get 35 because what happens? The salary cap goes up every year. The next big player gets the next big deal. And I legitimately think that Micah's going to get $35 million per year, whether it's with the Cowboys, whether it's with another team. Micah's that next big guy who's in that consideration of being the best edge rushers with Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, Maxx Crosby. But what's interesting here for the Raiders is you're going to give Micah Parsons $35 million, and then Maxx is going to be like, I want 36. Now, maybe Maxx doesn't do it because Maxx wants to be a Raider and he wants to win. But, like, Maxx, the next time he gets his contract, which it would not surprise me if he gets an extension next offseason because he has $0 million guaranteed in 2025 and in 2026. If I'm Maxx, I'm going, I want a few extra million. I want some extra guarantees. So, for you to probably invest over $30 million per year in 2 edge rushers, that's a lot of money. And if I'm the Raiders, Micah's great. No way I'm picking Micah Parsons over Maxx Crosby. The final reason is this. Malcolm would be gone. He would be gone. If you trade for Micah, that means Malcolm is no longer a part of your picture. And if I'm being real, I would rather give Malcolm Kuntz $10 million per year instead of giving Micah Parsons $35 million per year, plus with all the other draft capital that I have to give up. Like, you have the opportunity right now for Las Vegas to extend Malcolm Kuntz, and this whole video goes bye-bye, right? Because then you have your 2 edge rushers with AP, guys that prove to you. Like, I can give you both reasons why they should and why they shouldn't, and ultimately, it might come down to what the Raiders think that they're going to do with Malcolm Kuntz. And if they want to keep him, then this thing just goes right out the window. If they're not going to plan on keeping Malcolm, then as far as I'm concerned, you do need to add another edge rusher. And if Maxx says that he wants Micah, well, then maybe we can figure something out. So coming up here on the show, my Raiders trade idea for Micah Parsons. And it's a juicy one, right? But before I show you that, I do want to show you why I would trade for him because he is an elite player. He's got 2 years left on that rookie deal. If the Raiders don't plan on extending Kuntz, makes a little bit of sense. Not paying a quarterback right now, so you'd be able to use some of that extra money that you usually pay a QB, allocate that towards Micah. And the fact that Maxx and him are great friends, I'm a person where I'm trying to keep Maxx Crosby as happy as humanly possible. The reason why you shouldn't do it, not a big need. It's going to cost a ton of draft capital. The Raiders are going to have to pay him a boatload of money, $35 million plus a year. And then Kuntz is no longer a part of this situation. So the trade that you're going to see, and I love making trades because I already know it. You already know it. There's going to be people that just get so upset about this deal, but realistically, this is a steal for Micah. And the reason why that I'm showing you this trade is because of this. For the Cowboys to swap 13 and 24, for you to go to 24 to 13, that's an extra first-round pick. In the Khalil Mack trade, there were 2 first-round picks involved. And again, you're buying low here on Micah. The reason why that Tyree Wilson is involved is because Tyree Wilson, he lives in this area. His agent is in the DFW, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so it would be a little bit easier for him to come in. So that was your first-round pick, 7th overall last season, not a part of this regime anymore. Tyree Wilson can go down here, basically stay down here in Dallas, and be a part of the Cowboys. And also in that Khalil Mack trade, there was a 3rd-round pick involved. So, like, this honestly is a very good deal for the Raiders. And the Cowboys could use a DT. Like, if I had to add that cherry on top and say, hey, you want Byron Young thrown in there? I'll throw Byron Young in there because they let go of Jonathan Hankins. My point is this. this would be a fair deal for the Raiders to do. It really would be, and you would still have a first-round pick at number 24. I also know that the Cowboys are looking for a left tackle. Would you swap out Tyree Wilson for Colton Miller? I personally wouldn't. I'd rather have Colton Miller, but there is a trade that could potentially happen, and this is just a fun idea. So let's just have a normal conversation about it. I know that's not how it's going to go, and I want you to take a screenshot of this. I want you to post it on Twitter. I want you to put this on Instagram, and I want you to tag me, tag Chugs, and let's get this thing going viral. Believe it or not, it does help me out. And I'm going to post it on social media myself because I know how people react to trades time and time again. But let me know down below, who wins this trade, the Raiders or the Dallas Cowboys? The reason why I'm sitting up here saying it's the Las Vegas Raiders is because that's a hell of a deal for Micah Parsons. It really is, and you still get to keep your first-round pick. If you're telling me I get to pick 24 and we still have our pick at 44, if Michael Penix Jr. just slides a little bit, you could still have that ability to go up and trade up and get your guy. Now, again, this is all speculation. Hopefully you had a fun time watching the show because at the end of the day, it's the off season, and I'm here to have a good time. If you're watching this live show, we're about to have a real good time here on the Raiders Report. Remember, we go live every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. And if you don't know, Graphic Raiders pulling up on Friday, and shit's about to get lit. What up, John? Micah.
Bring Micah to Las Vegas.
Micah. Yoda said our D is already top 10. It is. You add Micah, it's the best defense in the NFL.
That is 100%.
I mean, it's not close. I don't think it's close.
I think that would be the best pass rush duo in the past 10 years.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of a better one. And then what if you even got even more creative and you're like, you know what, we're going to line up Malcolm Kuntz as an outside linebacker. I mean, good luck.
What if the Cowboys want Malcolm Kuntz in the deal?
I wouldn't surprise me. If I'm the Cowboys, I would probably want Tyree Wilson, which is why I threw him in there. Now, I know Raider fans value Malcolm more, but NFL teams would value Tyree more.
And the reason I was saying Cowboys need a defensive tackle is we remember, what did Tyree Wilson play best at last season?
DT.
Was defensive tackle.
Yep. I hear you. And I know a lot of people that know Tyree very well.
And
he wouldn't mind. I mean, nobody would mind playing for the Cowboys. I know we don't like the Cowboys, but they are America's team, and he lives down here. His agent's down here. He's got so many connections down here. That's a fact.
Also, what Micah Parsons, you even said it during the segment, one of his biggest weaknesses is in the run game.
Yep.
What did the Cowboys get destroyed on against the Green Bay Packers in that playoff game? Run. Aaron Jones ran up, down, left, right, sideways against the Dallas Cowboys.
I'll tell you what, there's not many games that aren't Raiders games that made me happier. And being able to watch that game with Alex.
Oh, it was amazing, right?
Oh, dude. There was, and I'm sure there's some people right now that their significant others are probably Cowboys fans watching that game because the hype around this, that Cowboys team. And again, we're down here in Dallas, so we hear it all the time. But man, oh man, oh man.
Navman, do you think Micah, what's up? That was our last segment.
I'd say 30 minutes. Also, SMU cornerback Teddy Knox has been identified as the other driver involved in the multi-car crash in Dallas. So now that he's been identified, we can say that you were right.
No. That's...
Different guy?
Different guy.
Oh, wow.
I told you there was multiple guys from SMU.
Yeah, I know that.
The guy who I said, I guess, wasn't the driver, but I know for a fact that was him in the orange shirt.
I mean, I think it just goes to show again, though, multiple
but
SMU.
because I knew him and knew that he was at SMU, the context clues was the other guys that he was hanging out with were all from SMU.
Sure.
And where they were on the highway, because obviously almost all of y'all don't live in Dallas.
Yep.
Where they were on that highway was 10 minutes from SMU's campus.
Yeah. I mean, right down the street from us here.
But 93 Navman, do you think Micah would fit the humble side of Max, beast but humble, and the rest of the nation? Curious on this, is Micah able to be a number 2? The best part about it, Navman, is there's not such a thing as a number 2 edge rusher. They're both starting. They can both get sacks on every single play. It's not like wide receiver, running back, where you get a limited amount of times that you can touch the ball. As a pass rusher, you can rush the passer every down.
But I also think like there's that sense of like they're just very good friends, and how competitive Micah is. Like,
thoughts on Micah Parsons to the Raiders?
Got to do it. Him and Maxx Crosby.
Dude, it would be kind of insane.
Be electric.
they're getting tons of sacks.
Over under 30 sacks for
Combined.
both of them combined in year one.
I would take the over.
Over.
Parsons got 17
Especially
last.
with
Yeah, Parsons got 17 last year. Crosby got what? 14?
15 and a half
15 and a half.
or 14 and a half.
Oh no.
Too many.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Too many.
Oh yeah. Elijah, false. I ain't no narc. I didn't tell the ops. I told Mitch.
Yeah.
And Mitch told the ops.
Yeah, I'm the narc. You can call me. I'm 93 narc man. What up, PG? Get Parsons, trade Devontae plus 3 firsts for number 4 spot. I don't think that's enough. Because then what? You'd in my trade scenario, it'd be pick 24. Pick 24.
2 firsts and Devontae.
Not enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Because one of those teams trading out of the top 3 would have to possibly be able to get a quarterback. And if you go all the way to 24, it's very unlikely rather than if you just go back to 13.
I'm with you. Also, we got a few more people here. Few more people here in our duck race, which is a Yoda Jenkins. I also see. Oh wait, that's Cap. Yoda's already in. See.
Yoda.
All right, so it
Jenkins.
is Richard Rod, Alan. I'm gonna call him Alan Klim,
Nice.
and then Jamari Murray.
Sick update, Aaron.
Jamari Murray. What?
Aaron Wilson said 13 players confirmed to attend the 2024 NFL Draft.
Wow, fun.
You know who one of them are?
Who?
Jayden Daniels.
Jayden.
He has
Shocker.
Terry and Arnold. The fact that the Raiders picked 13 and he just put 13 players out to go to the NFL Draft, coincidence? I think not. Terry and Arnold, Jayden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., J.C. Latham, Laitu Latu, Drake May, Quinion Mitchell, Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Darius Robinson, Brian Thomas Jr., Dallas Turner, and Caleb
Jamari
Williams.
got in 3 more times, which I actually did not realize. So Jamari is in, and then, oh boy, Ryan Bass is a scary human being. He's also in. So that means right now, $10 Venmo, you have a chance to win $230. So there's one thing I got to do. I want all y'all to give some shout-outs here. So today's MVP of today's stream has been Lord Cameron Abbott, okay? Spam LCA. Chug's going to give some shout-outs, and I'm going to get rid of a little bit more debt, and then I'm going to put a hole in that urinal.
Let's go. Spam LCA. I see Yoda Jenkins, Robert Jansen. Oh, Ed Robbins with a little $5 super chat. Let's see what Ed has to say. I also see Justin Olson spamming LCA. Ed Robbins. What's going on? If we get Parsons from Dallas, we would not need to worry about our secondary. No team that we play will have time for their QB to throw. I actually agree with that, Ed. If you have Micah Parsons and Maxx Crosby, I think you could honestly roll out with the guys that you have at cornerback, and I think you'd be perfectly fine. Because you have 2 good safeties and Epps and Trevon Merrick. I think you're good because, as you said, the pass rush is going to be insane. Insane. Raphael, I'll check whenever he gets back, but I believe so. I believe he put yours in earlier and then 2 more coming in. I see Buddy Bear. I see Anthony. I see Yoda Jenkins. And if y'all want to get a little extra crazy, we're going to have to leave the studio in about 15 minutes because my guy Marshall Green, Knicks Now, going to be going live in this studio later on today. Big game for the Knicks, right? Against Celtics today? Oh, okay, so Abby. Oh, wow. No. Oh, no. Allie.
My name is Allie, not Abby, and I am furious at Chugs. If you also hate Chugs, come to Celtics Today by Chat Sports and come root on the Boston Celtics to take down Marshall Green and the New York Knicks.
I can't believe I just did that. Oh, no. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. Oh, my goodness. Have I? I think everybody. The names are too close, though. That's not one where it's like. It's not like they're totally different names and I just. Yep. You know what? Spam F Chugs in the chat. Spam the F Chugs in the chat. Let me know. Yeah. In my defense, Mitch is dyslexic. Actually, spam, whose stream are you going to watch tonight? Type C for Celtics, type K for Knicks. Who are you going to join after we get off of today's stream? Because they're both going to go crazy. Type C for Celtics, type K for Knicks. Let me know down in the chat. You can either go hang out with Allie over on Celtics or Marshall over on Knicks. Huge game tonight. Huge game tonight. And if you like how we get crazy here on the Raiders Report, I can tell you this. The deals over on Celtics and Knicks, a little bit better than here on Raiders. So if you want to take advantage of those, get Allie drunk or Marshall, you can definitely go do that later on tonight. Camacho says, Warriors. Oh, it's cold.
We got to get rid of our debts. All right, so I'm back. Ed, you got to get your picture right, man. I feel like Ed would be like my dad, where he'd be so proud that he finally got a picture, and then it's sideways, and he's just like, you know what, F it.
Miggy, cheers, Mitch, Chugs, and chat. And cheers to Allie doing my taxes.
Yeah, you're good. Come on. All right, so we got 7 more beer bongs that we got to get rid of tonight. 7 more. Allie's going to pull up.
Noah
Is that new?
Santana said rules are rules. But
Oh,
no.
my Lord. It's
No.
awful. No, it looks great. I'm saying Alex tells me that that's like the most painful ear piercing that there is.
It wasn't bad. It was not bad.
Ah.
I've had better though.
high pain tolerance.
Dude, I mean, she's got that, I don't even, what do you call it?
A tragus.
A who?
A tragus.
A tragus pierced?
This thing.
That sounds mythical.
It's like tissue.
Miguel said
Like
Laker
Kleenex.
Nation.
She got her Kleenex pierced.
Miguel, you'd be happy to know I actually hosted our Lakers channel yesterday.
I know. I think 10 people saw.
Yeah?
Hundreds of people, they witnessed it. All right, so this gets us to 6. This gets us to 5. I'm hurting right now. And then Chugs has got a boot. Beer instead. Yeah, ask somebody out. Is Cullen out there? Shit. Get Smitty. Smitty will do a boot. Smitty's got a boot in him. I believe in it. Smitty. 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 Yeah, that one. We're not wasting. It's a Happy Dad boot. I don't know what flavors they are, though. I'm going to be honest. It's probably your favorite. It's fruit punch. You're not a cherry person? What's your favorite? But what about Happy Dad? So there's pineapple, wild cherry, grape. Actually, I don't mind the grape. The raspberry is very good. All right, so that means no! Nevman Barnes! don't spam 93 Nab Man. You get the hell on out of here. I'm ready. I'm worried about you. I agree. Ready? She dusted us. You might still beat him. I'll tell you what, that's in a good boot. Smitty.
In the Raider Nation, black and gray, let's go!
Not quite. Silver and black. Black. Saying black and gray is. Oh, wait. So here's the thing, real quick. The reason why they said that they would help me out is because they're also going to be live tonight.
Hello. We will be live tonight on Celtics Today by Chat Sports, taking on the New York Knicks and Marshall Green. If you hate Marshall Green, you will join Celtics Today by Chat Sports. Plenty more beer bongs coming, my man. F. Marshall.
Go home, Marshall! Go home! Go home!
Oh, wait. We got another.
Ask 80. Bang!
Let's go. All right, we're going to get her link in the chat. If you want Marshall to go home, which I'm pretty sure all 167,000 subscribers on this channel do. What? Go home, Marshall. Celtics and the Green Machine. Let's go. Let's freaking go. We got this one as well. Chugs, Micah would be a great addition. Certainly the back end will be safe. But then we need to focus on a cover middle linebacker. Just creates more needs. I think when Micah is going to improve. By the way, my jersey number 93, name is Navman93. You know what's crazy? I already got that ordered yesterday. I had a gut feeling, Navman, that you wanted number 93 and Navman on the back. Also, funny fact, Navman, 93 is my number. How you doing? Raider Nation, Mask 80. All right, so by all accounts here, let me just make sure. So we were at 7. Allie and I both did a beer bong. Smitty did a boot. That means we got 2 left. We got 2 left. I mean, here's the thing. Chugs poured up a boot, and I kind of feel bad that he poured up a boot. So here's the game that we're going to play. Every $100 that comes in the next 2 minutes, we're adding to our debt. You got 2 minutes on the clock. Then we're doing a duck race, and we're getting the hell out of here. Oh, dude, you can't F with this guy. This is a guy nobody out there, you don't F with this guy. Kills me to say we drafted Leatherhands in the same draft as Parsons, and now we're talking about trading for him. So Parsons went off the board at 12. Leatherhands went off the board at 17. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to fall anyway, but again, I watch a lot of Penn State football. Parsons was like a dude where I literally said, if you put him as an edge and not as a middle linebacker, he's going to dominate. Real Cowboy, love you guys, but we need more. Oh, boy. Ira Jackson! Bang! He don't even say anything. What? Yeah? Oh, really? Back to back? Dude. How do you spell cahoots? Also, if a bird pees, where does it go? Literally, I mean, I literally couldn't sleep last night wondering about that. Petey looks like a cahoots guy. If there were to be one person in this office to say cahoots, it's Petey. See, I didn't know that. Also, if anybody watches the show Resident Alien, we have a gray in our studio. I don't know.
All right, well, that's good enough for the boot.
It is good enough for the boot. And then we're David Zahn! Bang! Zahn's here.
Hold it up for him.
We got feet picks for Zahn. We got feet picks for Zahn. You're welcome. You usually have to go to Jeremy's Only Feets for that. Usually. What? You almost fell. We do. We have a gray out there. We got... Oh! Ira Jackson! Bang! That means we owe one. We owe one. Oh boy, hang on.
It'll be for Graf for tomorrow. That'll be his first. He'll have two.
David Zahn! Bang!
He'll just have two to start off.
All right, so he's only got two to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that means when we get the show started, though, if we got another, do we make Graf do a boot? I don't even know if he could do a boot. Literally, Zahn all day yesterday on our Zoom call was like, you got to make Graf do a boot. You got to Graf make a boot. Yeah, I can't talk.
Wow. You got
A dabadoo. And then Zahn, first thing he texted me this morning, he goes, dude, I was drunk. Don't ever listen to me. Don't make Graf do a boot. Like, I swear to God, Zahn, you know. Oh, Jesus. Lord Cameron Abbott. Bang! Oh, God! David Zahn! Bang! What are we at? We got to get that girl with her Kleenex Pierce back in here. Well, she said it was tissues or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Oh, my goodness. Sperry, uncross your legs. Navman! Bang! What are we at? We're at, I don't even know. Wait, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bangs in a row. Our record here on the channel, I want to say, is 11. Oh, no, it's 10, but we'd have to get to 11. I don't know, man. I don't know. Another one! Ira Jackson! Bang! We're 3 away from a record. David Zahn! Bang! Oh, man, we are, what, 3 bangs away from a record of, it would be 11 straight bangs of Super Chat. Nobody else super.
Bang.
Nobody else.
Bang.
So what is that? We're at 8.
Pow, right in the kisser.
We owe 8 tomorrow. Graf's got to start the show tomorrow with 2 boots and 2 beer bongs. If you do that, then we're down to 5. Which, honestly, is probably a good thing. Because Graf told me he's going to lift to the studio. That...
Wow. How much did he... Oh!
Get it! You do it! Ooh, David Zahn! Bang! And then Ultra my goodness. What the just happened? And all because Sperry uncrossed his legs. You just witnessed history. What is that? It fell out of the mallet. I mean, it's just broken anymore.
It's just broken anymore.
Oh, shit. Dude, I can't do that again. That was a lot. That was intense. I'm not going to lie. That was intense. And I just got some news. Ira Jackson! Ira Jackson! Oh my goodness. Yeah, that mallet. I'll tell you what.
It's seen better days.
It's not great right now. It's not great right now. Robert Jansen, what are we at? Because I don't know. Yikes. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, man. I'm going to say, I agree with Raphael. The only correct explanation is Holy Christ.
Do we raffle the mallet?
Raffle it from Ira Jackson. Do we raffle the mallet?
How about this? Venmo, we have our 50-50 raffle.
Okay, I'm listening.
Winner gets half the pot.
Uh-huh.
Last place
Gets the mallet.
gets the mallet.
But then you don't get... All right, then you also get a butthole pick.
Yes.
That's the real reason why people join this.
$10 Venmo.
Funny fact, actually, I'm not going to lie. This is what my butthole looks like. There you go. That's exactly what it looks like.
I don't think I can.
Unpicture it now?
Yeah.
Hey.
They didn't hear what I said. Tell them what the deal is with the mallet.
All right, so the deal is we're going to give away the mallet because it's effed. If you come in last place of the duck race, so it's a $10 Venmo to get in, winner gets the money. The person that comes in last place, you get the mallet. Basically my butthole. That's the deal. Because it's not good right now, I'll tell you that. It's not good. All right. So this, I think we're at 10. 12, Jansen, are you sure? Oh my. We did a good job of getting rid of some. All right, so that means Jeremy's going to put us at 9. Where's Cullen when you need him? Is Cullen out there? I could really use a colonoscopy right now to take away some beers.
Holy shit.
Dude. You think Chip's got a boot in him?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chip. Real quick, I got to ask you something. Chip, real quick. How much do you like your job? And is your best friend a good friend? All right, real quick. It's a yes or no. Y for yes, N for no. You got a boot in you. Oh, dude. What a legend. Oh, I think he just said he's got 2 boots in him. You just got slapped 10 times. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Hey, DK. Hey, DK. Hey, DK. Hey, DK. Real quick, I just got to ask you something. Yeah, we could use it.
I'll boot race you.
Hey, DK. I'll slack you. Hey, DK. Real quick, I just got to ask you a question. Just like one question. Jeez. Hey, DK. Just one. Ah. Yoda. What? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy. That could have been disastrous. Yeah, I'm not gonna. This has been eventful.
Hey, Coop.
Wait, hey, Coop.
Coop, you got a bong in you?
A-
You want one?
A bong?
Well, this is the perfect time for you to promote.
Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack.
Coop, 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 Coop.
Coop's got a bong in him. Let's go.
He's got a bong in him, and he's gonna do a bong.
Da-da.
Da-da.
I was going to go with the Jaws music, but all right. You have a mic? Why don't you get a mic on you? Can you guys hear Jeremy when he talks? Somebody said save it for tomorrow. I'm worried tomorrow's going to be bad, and I mean really bad.
Right this way, my good sir. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now that can hear me. Testing.
Subscribe to youtube.com/MavsTV.
Mavs TV, testing.
Mavs TV.
Unique,
Oh, there's my
unique
guy.
Unique New York.
All right, so that means we are now down. We're down to 11 that we owe. We're down to 11 that we owe. If my math, we owe 11.
Today?
No, not Boots. Christ.
It's my brother.
What?
My brother.
Are you guys related?
Yeah.
We're from the same tribe.
Ish?
Yeah.
Tribe-ish?
Yeah.
I got you.
You get it?
No, believe me. I walk in every day and I'm like, hey, Coop. Oh, Jeremy. I didn't even recognize you. All right, so we got Chip, and we just hired his buddy Pringle.
No. We did not hire his buddy.
We didn't?
We hired his
Oh.
very best friend.
Oh, best friend Pringle. Pringle.
Because it's Chip and Pringle.
Or we call him Dip. Dip?
His name's Dip.
Chip and Dip?
What's his last name?
Oh, Christ.
Chugs and the Dollar General Chugs. Chugs evil twin. Dugs.
We call him Dougie Fresh here. All right, so here's what we do. We got 11 left, so that's 3. That's 6, 7.
And if you
That's 4.
do one more, Mitch, that's 8.
That means we're a boot away to getting this debt paid. Coop, it's a steep debt.
Don't you have tomorrow as well?
We do have tomorrow. However, though, it's a steep debt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about
We-
it.
And I know
were-
one thing that you and Jeremy don't like debt.
We were conjoined. we were conjoined twins.
Yeah, they actually separated us.
Yeah. Who was on whose neck? I don't know.
Yikes.
Did you Coop on my neck? No tomatoes.
Jeremy's just talking about neck with Coop, and it's creeping me
weird.
out.
Little
It's
weird.
creeping me out here. All right, we're going to get this bad boy down to 3. You ready? If you beat Jeremy, I'll do a boot. You got to try. Don't F me right now. Don't do that.
All right.
I saw
If-
that.
He's gonna sandbag.
I saw that
If-
evil twinkle in your
if-
eye.
If Chip beats
The eye
me,
of the Jew.
if
Don't do it.
if Chip beats me, then
You dare.
Mitch has to do a boot.
Don't.
Chip's Jewish too.
No way.
Chip is Jewish. I told you.
Oh, you know what? You did say that. I don't know if I believe it because
No, he is.
the glasses they all check out now.
Yeah.
But he can't grow facial hair.
True. He's not Hasidic.
What?
He's not Hasidic.
Acidic?
No, he's Jewish. He's Jewish from the waist down,
Oh.
where it counts.
So he looks like DK.
His wallet.
He's got a hood. No?
No.
All right.
Oh, I gotcha. L'chaim.
You can go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah, go.
If you lose this race, Unbelievable. If Jeremy loses this race, Trace is the new host. That's disgusting. That was unbelievable. That looked like I've been randomly. Yeah, I mean, randomly these sinkhole videos have been popping up on my Instagram and Twitter. Jeremy's a human sinkhole. What?
Buddy Bear sent 50 on Knicks.
Buddy Bear's over on Knicks. Buddy Bear's a lunatic. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of shit going on today. We are a boot away, fellas. And Queen Sarah Otto and everyone else. I'll tell you what. What a day.
All right, last chance to get in.
Oh my God, we still have that boot race or duck race to do. We're in
Last
trouble.
chance to get in.
Last chance to
Even though
get in.
I do have to say that one was one of my more sloppy boots because I was trying to push it because I gave him a little bit too much time than I was expecting.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. 3 is left. That is correct, Robert. That is correct. All right. I got Miggy in. Ed Nav in. For the Ed Navi Invitational in. And then Ira's going to get in one more time.
You know what you reminded me of earlier whenever you're trying to get DK's attention?
What?
Have you seen Fists of Fury?
No.
Chosen one!
Oh, dude.
Chosen one!
Hey, DK.
Chosen one! We have a lot to go through, so I'm just
DK,
gonna,
I just want you to know I'm going to text you tonight at like 9 o'clock. Hey, DK, tomorrow morning until we get DK on here to do a beer bong.
Actually,
what?
Allie, do you have the link to your live show? They're asking for it in the chat.
Holy Christ.
I'm going to roll through all the hundreds because it was insane.
Nav man! Spare that, cross your legs. Bang! Hey, DK. When you have to bring in the entire city to clear debt, it's a win, Mitch. I suspect if we ever meet and have a beer competition, it'll not be fair. Young man, much love to the nation and all you do to keep us connected. You know, I actually got a really cool message today on Instagram that also said that they were a veteran, just like you, Navman, and that they've been dealing with some PTSD, and that they watched the show for, like, just bring them down a little bit, because obviously, like, this show is, let's just be real, at this point, like, this is kind of dumb what we're doing right now, but with everything going on in life, whether you're dealing with, I don't know, anything, I want people to be able to come to this channel to have a good time and to take their mind off their real life. What's up?
Look at the shoe that they're trying to drop for Wembanyama. Tell me that's not the ugliest shoe you've ever seen.
It looks like the Yeezy slipper and a Clemson butthole. It does.
Let me run through all these super.
That is a Clemson butthole
David
if I've
Zahn,
ever seen one.
Real one. Ira Jackson, real one. David
we
Zahn,
owe what, 4?
real one.
So that means tomorrow's show, I'm starting off tomorrow's show with a boot, and
a
Graf's
bong.
going to do a bong.
Lord Cameron Abbott, a bird poops and pees out its butt.
I don't believe that.
David Zahn.
I'll tell you what, though. Go back to that. Can somebody take a screenshot of that's one of the most iconic $100 super chat bangs we've ever gotten on here. Imagine that.
You're just watching. You're like, oh, could the Raiders trade for Micah Parsons?
You're watching
You click in.
a Raiders stream.
First thing you see as you click in,
Holy shit.
a bird and poops and pees out of its butt.
Oh, man. You can't make that up.
David Zahn simply with
Oh, shit.
3. Navman ready to rock tomorrow too, Ira. David Zahn gonna be a monster. Love you, no shit.
Dude, Navman's going to scare me during the season.
Ira said, Graf said he's doing a shot for me tomorrow.
Ooh,
David Zahn says 4.
okay.
And then he says 5. Ultra VAB, which looks like you're a doctor or nurse.
I'll tell you, imagine you're going in to get your knee checked, and all you hear in the background is this.
Dang, a bird poops and pees out of its butt.
I'll tell you what, it'd be like, you know what, at least I learned something.
All right, very, very last chance because we got to get out of here.
Yeah, we do. They got that game. All right, no more people are in, which actually this is perfect, Jeremy. So nobody else is. If anybody else sends me anything, take that off screen. Take it off screen.
Ah!
Hey, DK. She didn't even say no. That was just
She
no.
She said no.
Let me laugh it off. It honestly sounded painful. All right, so that means
Yo.
this. Winner gets $250.
Loser
Ooh, loser
gets the mallet.
the butthole. Loser gets the butthole.
Did you sent it to me, right?
If you are TV, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Then that answer is also yes. Dude, yeah,
Dude,
those Wemby shoes.
I forgot that
Not
I have
great.
a chance to win.
I'm not gonna lie, I did too. Jeremy and I are in this race. What was funny was yesterday when I was talking to Buddy Bear and
exactly
Zahn.
50?
Yeah, exactly 50. When I was talking to Buddy Bear and Zahn yesterday, I was like, we were all joking with Zahn, and Zahn was kind of joking around too because he was like, dude, I've never won a duck race ever.
Same.
And he won 6 in a row.
I've never won.
You've never won?
I don't think so.
Dude,
But I've also been
You've
in like
won.
5.
I think you've won.
I think like against
You've been in more
like a
than
one-on-one
5.
person.
Oh, I don't know. Dude, this is a lot of people. This is 50 flipping people. 50.
Are we ready? Can everybody count me down in the comment section from 5? Give me a 5, a 4, 3.
That was delayed. Holy shit, that was delayed.
Ah.
That would have actually been funny if we would have done that and act like we froze. We
5,
got to do that.
4,
Next
3.
next Friday, we're going to do that
What movie is that from?
and just act like we froze.
5, 4.
Every
3.
movie that has an astronaut in it. I have no idea.
Wayne's World.
35 seconds to go. Winner
I don't even see.
wins
I don't.
$250.
How do I know I'm in there? I don't even see my name.
Yeah, and that's if Mitch wins this race, I'm gonna be hyped. I'm gonna be hyped.
I literally haven't.
Ultra VAB.
I haven't seen my name. I don't know where I am.
I don't think you put me in.
You're the one that sent it.
I don't think you did. Who's that in the back? Ira. Who's this? Yoakum. Johnson. Elijah. Who is that?
Timmy Jones.
Timmy Jones.
Oh, I see me now. I'm right there.
Timmy Jones.
Oh, we actually finished right next to each other.
Where?
That sounded weird. Don't clip that.
Somebody clip that. Holy shit. Somebody clip that. Oh, wow. We finished right next to each other. Who came in first? Because you got to eat the cracker, I think. Timmy Jones, can you please confirm with me that you just received
Pause.
$250?
All right, but maybe the thing that we're more interested in.
No, did he? Oh, shit. Did I beat you, Giggity?
Yes.
Yes! Oh, Chugs, 22. Who's getting it?
I'm feeling 20.
Who's getting the butthole?
Luis
Luis
Rodriguez!
Rodriguez!
Da na 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 da na 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 da na 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 na.
That's what you get, Luis, right there. I'm gonna sign it right where the pucker up spot.
Timmy
would
said
be.
he got it.
Nice, Timmy. Timmy just said he's like, I can't believe I'm watching this right now.
Luis said, "Let's go."
Oh, Luis. Luis is like, you know what? That's the only reason why I entered the race. That's the only reason. All right, y'all. I think everyone can tell that we got to get the hell out of here. From me, from Jeremy Chuggs. This was a show that I can't even believe it, man.
Matthew said, damn, I can't even win at losing. He got 49.
That's kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Graphic Raiders pulling up here in studio. And it's going to get wet and wild. I just want to make sure that I know for myself.
4.
We owe 4. That's a boot to start, and Graf's going to have a beer bong. And apparently he owes a shot, too.
Beer bunghole.
And a beer bunghole.
I think because Ira and Mask 80 sent 2 bangs on his stream today, he said that he would do a shot tomorrow for him.
Oh, boy. Okay.
That's just me guessing. Martin tagged us in something on Twitter. You can see.
I'll check it out. All right. I got to go to bed. Good night.